It's okay.
No, I get that. You gotta give it a hype.
You gotta hype up the start. This bit's staying in, by the way. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Name It or Flame It. And again, I once again forgot to check what number episode this is. So it's an episode.
15.
It's represented by a number that might be 15 or 50, whatever you said. I don't know. 15, yeah, it could be.
50, is it?
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, probably not. 15's a relatively decent guess. I'll have it. Right, let's call it episode 15. Right, today we've got Small Mod Dan, and we established the second best support in Div 4. Rani, how's it going, boys and girl? Man, that feels weird. Normally I just have guys on here because I'm sexist.
Oh my god, you're diverse. Might get a bigger budget now.
Wait, we get budgets? What?
Oh, right. Don't you know I get paid for streaming? The altcoins, like, you know, it's something.
Yeah, true.
Getting more.
It's better than nothing. Right, do you want to introduce yourselves? Dan, you want to go first, mate? People probably know you a bit better. But...
Oh. You're saying Randy, no one knows Randy? Wow.
No, it's not no one knows Randy, but you're a mod.
I'm more popular. That's it, I'm more popular. Nah, I'm Dan. I'm a mod, ex-HH player, ex-VGB player. Played a little bit in VL. Say a little bit. Quite a bit, to be fair. I've stopped. Yeah, me.
Okay. Rani, you want to introduce yourself? I'm pretty sure people already know you both, to be honest. But off you go.
I'm Rani. I'm a support for Hentai Haven. I used to be rated higher than Valkyrie in power rankings, so yep.
Yeah, of course. Right, I'm not even gonna comment on it. Go. I was gonna flame you, but you did alright on Leona the other day, and you won me 300 coins, so we'll leave it out. I've just noticed that it's really fitting. You both got Fall Guy icons, and once that game falls out of popularity, you'll look back on this and you'll be like, "What the fuck is even going on?"
If Fall Guys ever falls out of popularity, I'm proud I rep my little Fall Guy.
I'm so bad at that game, dude. I'm so bad at it.
I've got 3 wins.
I've got none. None.
Join Rani then.
Well, you didn't have to put me out there like that.
Right.
Could have acted like I did get one.
So, I'll give you a quick run on the rules, then I'll pop the first question on screen, and we'll just jump right into it. So, there's going to be 5 League of Legends related trivia questions. You're both going to put an answer in the chat. First one of you to get it right. If you both answer, if one of you is right, whoever did it fastest gets to make the other one answer a flame question. If both of you get it wrong, then you both have to answer the same question that I get to choose. You just type your answer in chat, in the Discord chat, and we'll be all good. Try and spell the words as close to as they're written as possible.
I've got dyslexia.
Because yeah, so do I. Look, I spent.
Yeah, but you should know when it's not going to be as easy. Just spell the word.
No, like what I'm saying is, if there's 2 items that both have the same word, if there's 2 options that have the same word in it, don't just put the same word because it causes controversy, doesn't it?
I got you.
The flame questions, don't have to answer them in any order. You can just, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just choose whichever one you want to make the other one answer. Right, are we both ready?
Yes.
Hit you with it.
Okay, right. So, first question. It's a tough one. I'm not sure if you'll get this, but we'll see.
But before you go, have I got to can we answer it as soon as the questions is?
Yeah. As soon as you see it, I will read it out. But if you can read it and answer faster than I read it, then absolutely go for it. Right.
How many seconds do we have?
Just as fast as you can. Okay. Right. Okay. First question. Which of these camps will not spawn a kindred mark before 4 stacks? Rift Scuttler, Ancient Krugs, Crimson Raptors, or Grump?
I don't know. I spelled it wrong.
Nah,
Even though
it's okay.
on
It's
screen.
okay. I know what you meant. Rani, you gonna take a guess? Rift Scuttle. Wow,
That's
man.
wrong. I know that
Yeah,
one's wrong.
clearly neither of you play Kindred because you
To be fair, I
select.
played Kindred ADC, so that's different.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, it's Ancient Krugs start
Oh.
spawning at 4th. You get Rift Scuttler for the first one guaranteed.
Yeah, nice.
Then it moves on to Raptors and Grumps and Rift Scuttles, and then after 4, you add Krugs in there.
So you
But,
mean bottle?
yeah. However you managed to spell that, I got what you meant. It's okay. I'm also a fellow retard, so it's okay.
Whoa, what did you just call me?
Okay, so because you both got it wrong, I get to choose a question that you both have to answer. So let's go with number 5 because it's quite applicable to the both of you. If you can remove one person from the community, who would it be and why? And Dan, you get to go first because you answered the question first.
Alright, I know who Ryan's going to choose, so I'm not going to say it. One person from the community, who would it be? It's a tough one, really, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people who you
Yeah,
can remove.
there is a lot of people. I have a list. I have a list of people that I'd want to remove, and it is bigger than the list of people that I would want to keep. So,
Yeah. See, there's people like Trigger who it's like, he brings entertainment at least.
yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say he's like it's the best entertainment, but it's entertainment.
And then you've got people whose names rhyme with Pice Paro, who just like to argue about literally everything all the time, anytime. And make my job even harder. So
I think Ravioli just got Pice Paro somehow.
So who are you choosing? Who are we getting rid?
You know what? It's an easy one, isn't it? It's Wavy Lad or Wavy.
Agreed. Big agreed. Why though?
He's one of the biggest idiots I've ever met in my life. I swear to God, some of the stuff he says is amazing. And some of the stuff he gets away with is amazing.
Yeah.
And honestly, for that reason, he needs to go. If I had full power, he'd be the first person I'd ban.
I mean, I'm not going to say that there is admin bias, but some of the stuff that he says he really only gets away with because he's friends with most of the admin team. It's really impressive the amount of sway that he accidentally has. Well, no, I agree. I massively agree. Rani, who are you removing?
Easy left. Fuck
That one wasn't even. I didn't even need to ask you, did I?
Yeah.
I knew. Go on. Why are you removing Lev?
Well, does anyone really like him? Like, legit, does anyone genuinely like him? All the shit he posts, I constantly cringe. I legit stopped opening VL because he types in there. Like, ugh. Fuck that kid, I hate him.
So what you're saying is that you're wondering whether people just tolerate him, because I think the answer is yes.
But I don't think people actually tolerate him. I think half the Discord has him blocked. Like, I think people just don't want to see what he types because it's so fucking bad. No one likes him. Maybe 10% does, like weirdos like Trolulu as well. Baldy squads.
I mean, those guys who lost their hair at the age of 20 really got to stick together, don't they? Like, it's not their fault.
I don't even know if Trolulu likes him, but like Zeus and I think they tolerate him, but I don't know why. But
yeah, they might do. Don't chat shit about Trululu. We're not allowed, and we don't want to chat shit about Trululu. He is the biggest patron of VL, and we love his custom. So up the boys, Trululu.
we love his what?
We love his custom. He single-handedly funds most of the splits, Ronnie. You can't shit talk him, especially not on stream.
Brandon thinks you're being dead serious now as well.
I don't know what he means. I'm just laughing because I don't know what it means.
Trululu
He means that he
donates a lot.
donates the most.
Yeah, he donates a lot. Yeah.
Does he?
Yes.
Aren't the Danish guys the ones that donate?
No.
Like
I'm pretty sure that Trululu like single-handedly funded me and Joycey getting VL tattoos.
What the hell?
So once again, up the boys. Trululu's OP. VL God. He should have his own role in Discord. But moving on to question number 2. Are you ready?
No.
No, well,
Yes.
you're going to need to be because it's coming anyway, Rani.
I'm ready.
So, what is Pantheon's passive called? Spartan's Will, Comet's Will, Mortal Will, or Aegis Will?
The hell's out stupid.
Yeah, Ronnie, you got it. Well done.
How is it Spartan? Immortal? It's either Aegis or Spartan. Like,
No, Spartan. No, it's Spartan's Comet is his Q, or Spartan something is his Q, and Aegis Will is his W, is the shield. Mortal Will is his passive.
Honestly.
Actually, no, Spartan. No, wait, actually, no. Comet. It's Comet. Whatever is his Q. Spartan's isn't actually even one of his ability names. I just made that one up.
I was thinking he's clearly based off like
yeah,
Greek
yeah.
soldiers.
I thought that.
So
I thought it.
for Aegis or Spartan makes the most sense. Stupid game.
I mean, at least if you'd have said Aegis, it would have been actually one of his abilities, and you would have at least been slightly close. But no, Rani, you've taken it, mate. What question are you making him answer?
Who's the worst player currently in VL? Because I didn't want
Worst player currently in VL. Right,
Current players.
honestly, it's so hard because there's two and they're on the same team.
Well,
And
wait, no, Hentai Haven have 5 players, Dan.
They're good now. They're good now. give them
Yeah,
that.
true.
It's between Zeus and Couchy. And after casting the game last week, it's so bad. And the best part about it is they get upset when you call them bad. So I'm going to keep calling them bad because they are bad and they can't take it. So it's definitely Zeus or Couchy. Which one? I think Couchy actually played better one of the games than Zeus did. So I'm going to go with Couchy's actually better. So Zeus, in my
Zeus.
opinion. At least in
Alright.
the jungle, from what I've seen, is the worst player in VL.
I mean, I'd have gone with Couchy, man. Like, I don't know how much Zeus actually plays the game, but I can guarantee you, given the fact that Couchy has his own channel in VL. I mean, I don't know why we call it Chats About Solo Queue when literally it's just Couchy's Solo Queue feed. But that man plays so much of this game and is somehow still this bad. It's beyond me. I don't get it. Like,
I
at that
pop in
point...
there every now and then and look, and I just see Couchy's like pasting as a screenshot of him getting carried by someone. I'm like, oh,
Like-
I guess he's just doing it again. Fair enough.
At one point, when you play that much League, like, you've got to be actively trying to not learn or take in information on how to become better at the game. Like, surely there's got to be some sort of, like, professional bad player kind of mentality going on. Like, I have no idea, but I'd give it to Couchy. I think they're both a good answer, though.
That's all right, Shane. Equal, I'd say.
Right, okay, so question number 3. Let's see whether Dan can equalise, otherwise, I don't know. Actually, to be fair, I don't have very much faith.
Whoa.
How much does a lost chapter cost?
This one's
1280,
easy.
1300, 1350. Oh, you both put the same. Do you both? Actually, that's so smart.
No,
Yeah, you
what
did.
do you mean? I was just...
Wait, Ronnie, did you put 1350?
Yeah.
Ronnie, what the hell? What do you mean
He's a-
1350?
He's a support player, to be fair. To
I'm a support player. What do you mean? Ronnie, right, okay. I'm not even gonna question it. Dan, go on, make her answer a question.
Hey,
mate.
just a little heads up, you haven't removed your...
No, it's okay. I
question.
got it. I did it.
There you go.
I did it.
I'm going to go with... Outside perspective, who's the worst admin in VL?
Who are the admins?
Oh, that's not good.
Wow.
Is it?
Alright, so we've got Big Lad Joycey, you got Glenn, Callie,
Big nose Glenn.
Big Nose, so you got Big Nose Glenn, Crack Nose Callie, who else is, Trav that doesn't do anything, you got Blaze, small admin, just got promoted. I should have put staff rather than admin, but there's me, Dan, Silverback.
That's it then.
Have I missed? No, I've not, that's it.
I mean, I'm just gonna say Glenn because he votes right. So fuck him.
Because he votes what?
Right.
It was Glenn a Tory.
He's Glory!
Yeah.
Wait, Glenn's a talk. Well, actually, if I
Wait, that's.
Are you
Someone
sure, Randy,
told me-
before you
well,
make
I'm not
that
sure.
calculation?
look, if I had as much money as Glenn does, I'd be
Someone
a
told
Tory
me
too.
this. But I don't know if they were joking about it, but someone told me he voted for Tory, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were joking, but like if
Oh.
I was that minted, I would also be a Tory, so I
Well-
wouldn't put it past him.
Nah, this one's confirmed. Glenn's a massive Tory.
Yeah, true, big Tory bastard. Not to mention the fact I was gonna make a joke about he doesn't do anything, but at least he does some things now. It's not like he.
Yeah.
Hey, just a shout out to Trav for this content, by
Oh,
the way.
fuck
You
right off!
appreciate
I
it.
hate that meme with a burning passion. I cannot stand it. Does my tits in? I closed Discord yesterday. Not yesterday. On Monday when I was or Thursday when I was streaming, and everyone was fucking.
Trav
putting-
appreciation
Mate,
day.
like I closed Discord. I nearly stopped streaming, but then I thought, you know what, be a bit far. So
I'm just giving props to Trav for the content. You gotta
Fuck
respect it.
fuck you. Right, we're moving on to the next question, and I hope you lose it. Which of these champions does not have an arcade skin? Vigar, Hecarim, Singed, or Kiana?
Oh, she's at the beat.
Yeah, that one was well easy. I mean, I wonder whether we give it to you because I knew you had the right answer, but obviously you got to have 10 seconds to be able to figure out where the buttons are and press the right keys. So, you know, like.
Randy just doesn't care about actual. like how you type things. So, you know, just trying to technically I'm right,
Snaghead.
because Windows Sims have all capital letters.
Snaghead. All I see is
Yeah.
is Snaghead. Well, I get it. I knew what she meant. Right, Rani, go on, make her answer another question since you got that one.
She didn't spell it wrong, did she?
I don't know. It's really small on my screen. I'll be honest.
She spelled it. She spelled it the same way as me. But now the
Syndicate?
way you say it, I
Syndicate.
spelled it the exact same way, and on the street, on the thing, it's spelled exactly the same way. So is that actually spelled sing? Is that how you
No,
spell
that's right.
it? Is
I
it?
think.
Yeah. That's how you spell it.
Or is it
Sing-
Signet?
Because I'm keep
I mean,
reading it as Singed now.
how else would you spell it?
I don't know.
Signet? Like this?
Singed. Like I know that.
No,
that,
no,
that
it's
is,
a
that is how you
first.
spell it. That's
It's this.
it's no, that's definitely how you spell it.
But I'm reading it as Singed now.
I did too. To be fair, dyslexic gang, rise up.
You said that, and I was like, "What? Is that just wrong, all right?"
Right, go on, Rani. Choose a question.
Mm. Who is the most overrated player in VL currently and why?
Oh, there's a couple. There is a couple. Let me just bring up the roster sheet.
There's
'cause-
one really easy one that people tend to default to.
Well, the easy one, right? And it's not because I think he's bad, but honest, you know, he's playing with charm. You can't get a true reflection of his skill, to be fair to him.
Yeah, true.
But
You're getting hard
If
carried.
you're going off like, oh, who's, you know, good and stuff, then it's like hard. 'Cause I don't know if he's good or not. It's just, you know, he does also have, what do you call it right next to him?
Because he's got
Charm.
a really, really strong lane partner. Yeah, understandable.
Overrated. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna go for one. I don't think a lot of people say, and he's a lovely fella. Even though he's like, you know, if someone had to put money on, he would be a murderer. I'd put it on this fella. It's John Joe.
Jonjo! Oh! Wait, and that took a second to click. Wait, we're flaming Jonjo? What the?
It's not flame because I don't think he's bad, right? But I've spoke to John Joe a lot of times, and he always says, "Who's this guy? I'm better than him." And then he plays him, and he doesn't win the league. He never wins. And I'm just okay, John Joe.
Now that you mention it, yeah, that does happen a lot to that. I think he's a really good player.
He's a good player. He's just not as good as like I think some people say he is. And on top of that, I think like I said, he is a nice fella. I do like John Joe.
Jonjo's the top lad.
Yeah, I just think he's not bad, but he's not maybe like where he thinks he is at least. Then again, it's his most overrated, not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, no, I was surprised when you said that Honest was the obvious answer. Most people go for
Oh, really?
Bramsh because I mean
I
Bramsh just
rate
seems
Bramsh.
really. I think he's a good player, but he's a really really good player because everyone sits all day every day being like, oh yeah, level 3 he's gonna come mid, get loads of kills, and then they're like, oh we're not gonna let that happen. And then level 3 comes mid and gets kills because people forget. Like if people just switch their brains on for like 30 seconds, like for like 5 minutes into the game, like
Yeah.
he's just so easy to counter.
I was
he
just
used to
going
be-
with. I was going with honest because a few people said to me, "Do you think he's overrated?" And it's like, you know,
I think he might be. He definitely rates himself really, really
I don't
highly.
think he's terrible. Like,
He's a
just wanna
good
put that
player,
out there.
but I
Not
mean,
coming back.
he's got like as much as I like to diss him. He's got Ice Arrow in the jungle, who makes him look better as a whole.
Mhm.
You got fucking Chime in the lane. Like, it's not
I'd
hard
have
to.
said Shenzhen, but I don't think anyone rates Shenzhen.
Yeah, no one's rating Shenzhen. Maybe
What was that
before.
snort?
Maybe like Split 1, Cleety. He was probably overrated. 'Cause people used to
Yeah.
think he was fucking.
No, he was such a good jungler though.
Well, I mean,
Nah.
he had okay pathing and he could gank, but he like until I joined CLT, no one on that team had any idea what macro was.
True. The
And
only
that's
reason
not-
CLT won is because of Alk.
It's
I'm
true.
fucked.
It's
That's a
true.
The only reason Haven is winning is because of Sam, because we're all just sitting there dead quiet, clicking buttons, and Sam's like, okay, let's do this.
That was legitimately the first 2 seasons of CLT. It was everyone being quiet, clicking buttons, and then I'd just be like, "Oh, go to the Drake now!" and then we'd win games because that's how League of Legends works. All right, moving on. Actually, I just realised this is the last question. We got here quick, didn't we? Fucking hell.
Dun,
It's
dun,
2-1 to
dun.
Rani. So it's a tradition here that we do rock paper scissors at the end for an extra point anyway. But Dan, if you win this one, then it's for the tiebreaker to decide who is actually officially dogshit at League of Legends. So
Easy dub.
yeah, this is important, man. This is life or death. You got to get this right.
I also just can't think of an answer for this one, so I have to get it right anyway.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, thankfully, normally the last question on this show is kind of a random one that realistically you're not going to know. You've got to guess. So here we go. What is Rengar's base movement speed?
Oh yeah.
330, 335, 340, or 345?
Now she's rushed, so I can have time to think
Yeah,
about it.
you've got a little bit of time. She put.
Hey
Randy,
Siri.
you put... No! You've right an answer. You've got 5 seconds. 4, 3,
Okay. 1
2,
second.
1. Ah, well, you fucked it, haven't you? It's 345. Can you believe that?
I didn't want to go to the extreme. Why would you go for the extreme?
He's a fast boy, man. He's a real fast boy.
He is fast.
But no, yeah, fair play. Okay, so you both got it wrong. So that means you both have to answer this last question. And since you've both been players, it doesn't necessarily have to just be current. Preferably if it's current, but obviously you don't play anymore, Dan. So I understand if you.
I've got actually got an answer. Yeah, don't worry.
So Rani, you get to go first because you answered the question first. Who do you think is the worst team that you've ever played against in VL?
Does it have to be VL or can it be CL as well?
Including CL. I class CL as VL.
Okay,
so,
do
oh
you
my
remember
fucking
this
God.
team, Starwish?
Starwish
They were like
esports,
5
mate.
Norwegian guys,
Don't.
and they were like all in their 40s, and they were all dog shit.
Every single time. Every time. Starwish was the original Bob, right?
And
But-
they won in the end, because we all had Smurfs.
Well, no, they didn't. Checkmate Yellow ended up winning. They didn't
Oh.
win. Checkmate, so every single team besides Checkmate Yellow, who basically everyone they were 0-18. Checkmate Yellow was 16 and were 2 and 16 because they obviously beat Starwish and nobody else. And then every single team in CL got banned, so they both went to the finals. But I don't know. I still hype on Starwish. Any team that in season 7 will stack 5 people in a mid lane side brush until 6 minutes 30 into the game, flash under tower for my mid laner, and still not get the kill. Everyone's level 1 at 6 minutes 30 and not being seen on the map.
They're doing the thing. Let them do it.
Man, nothing. Like, I love Bob, right? But they don't hold a candle to the original Starwish. Let's be honest.
Diesel Uterus was my favourite.
Who?
On a chat.
What-
Diesel Uterus.
What a fucking name.
Was that from Starwish?
Yeah, that was his name. Diesel Uterus.
Diesel Uterus.
Diesel- I don't
Yeah,
remember,
I remember
that being
him.
his name, not gonna
No,
lie.
Yeah,
I
he was
don't
the
remember
bottom.
any of them.
Alright, go
I
on,
just
Dan.
remember they were so bad.
Dan, who do you
Alright,
think
so
is the
There's
worst
2
team?
choices really, and it's a toss up between WSLG and they won, but you know, and there's a toss up between the original Clay T Academy
Oh, actually, that's a shout.
because
What was the original?
It was like,
we had Nate and someone else.
it was real bad.
Who was it?
I can't remember. Is it Clay
It
T
was
Academy? I
Shadow.
don't know the names of
It was like the thing was, it wasn't even our academy team. They just had our name, but we had nothing to. They had a separate Discord, nothing to do with us whatsoever. It just kind of like tarnished on it. No, they were real bad. I get that. What do you mean original WSL Green, right? Because I mean they.
it's the one from last split, I think.
Who was on it?
Not last split. It was the last time I played, so it would have been when Wavy was playing for HH. It was Bauer and Stronger bot lane. Craft in the jungle, Akadachiri mid lane, and who was top? I can't remember who was top lane.
It might be-
Yourself?
Yeah.
No, it was yourself and
I don't
it
remember
was yourself and Thingy bot lane.
because that was the
Yourself
team.
and Bauer.
That was when Callie first joined the admin team. 'Cause I was supposed to
Yeah.
be the jungler for that team, but I was the only person who actually had half a brain cell, so I went back to CLT because I couldn't be arsed.
There's nothing that's so shit is because me and Rani solo killed Bauer and yourself
Impressive.
with Lulu Yumi,
Wait, what?
and then in the first
Oh,
game,
I remember that game.
Wait, you were playing Lulu Yumi bot lane?
yeah, he was playing Zyra or something, and we were winning the first game. The first game we played Kindred. I can't remember who it was against, but I was Kindred into Bauer, and I was up in CS. Didn't die to him or anything, made it through, and we were going to win the game, and then Wavy missed Smite.
So that's why you knew question 1, because you played
Yeah.
Kindred 2 years ago. Makes sense. No, not 2 years ago, like a year and a half, I don't know.
And then game 2, it was in competitive integrity because we had 4 supports and Wavy on Yi, and Wavy, I've never seen someone play Yi so badly. That's where I don't mean from the community, to be honest with you. But I do think it's the original CLT Academy. Like
Yeah.
their mid laner was one of the worst players I've ever played against. He he beat me on CS, right? Because he was playing. It was Vigor into Pike,
Mhm.
and I went like 14-3 or something, and he was after the game he was going, you might have won, but at least he had more CS. And I was like, well, I'm playing Pike mid lane, like And then we played the scrim against him, and he took the wrong runes on Vigor, and he wanted to remake it, but we were like, it's too late now. Just play with them. Vigor doesn't need the right runes anyway. So, we literally had me, Callie, Llama,
Oh, God.
and Wavy. All four of us sat mid lane the entire game and dived him over and over and over again. And he went like 19-2, and he was like, the only way you can beat me is with your team.
Do you mean 2 and 19?
yeah, we're 2 and 19. Which big shock. You do actually need a team to win in League of Legends. It's a mad thing, but yeah.
Impressive.
CLT Academy. There you go, the original.
Alright, fair play. Alright, so here's where we're at right now. Rani wait, fuck.
Rani's 3-1 up.
Rani's 2-1 up. You had 2 draws. So 2-1 up. So, okay.
Winner takes all.
It's winner takes all, really.
What?
I mean, technically it's for a draw, but it's the rock paper scissors time,
all.
Rani.
Go hard, they'll go home.
To see who. Yeah. All right, fine. Rani,
Going home.
are you going hard or are you going home? What's going on? You going for the win?
I'll go hard.
Okay. So I need you to type in chat. Don't post it yet. Rock paper scissors. I'm gonna count 3, 2, 1, go. You're gonna post it, and whoever wins, whoever loses, gets to be crowned officially dog shit at League of Legends, alongside many famously shit players like Freezy, and Lev and Shenzin. It's a real Hall of Fame we've got going on over here. I should have their names listed. So, are we ready?
I'm ready.
No.
I've got my script out.
Rani,
No,
just write rock, paper, or scissors.
You got 3 choices.
So, 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go.
Knew it.
Whoa!
Easy, dub. You know how I knew it? Because you said go hard. Clearly.
Oh no, I actually first typed paper, but then I was like,
What? Why
nah,
would you-
I don't want to type paper, and then I changed to rock.
Well, here we are, in a world where somehow Small Mod Dan has won, and Rani, you've now been crowned. Even if you are the second best support in Div 4, you are now officially league dog shit of Legends. So
Wow,
how'd
you're
you
giving
feel?
less more chances to flame me. Thanks, Hulk. Thanks. General chat later on is gonna be like, herder Ronnie.
So,
I imagine that's how he types, by the way. Yeah, that's how he speaks, by the way.
how does it feel to know that you are now like definitively dog shit at League of Legends?
I mean, I already knew that. Let's be
Man.
real.
I love that answer, because every time that people get crowned dog shit at League of Legends, like, yeah, I already knew it, just to try and hide the fact they're crying inside. It's okay, I understand. I mean, I don't
I'm
personally
always
understand
crying
the pain,
inside.
but right, done. You won, mate. How's it feel?
Nothing there. I'm just used to being a winner.
I mean, you did play on Hentai Haven for a little while, so I doubt that.
Hey, no,
But-
you give you used. I remember Callie and Alex told me that you just assumed I was dead shit at League because
Yeah, I
was
did.
on HH.
I fully thought you were just dog shit at League because of
Oh.
being on Hentai Haven, but
we came like second and third. Granted, we never won, so we're not that good. But we came like second and third like every split.
I don't remember this happening.
I
but
do.
I will take your word for it. So, to round off the episode, because you won, Dan, you get to go first. You got 30 seconds. Anyone you want to call out? Anything you just, you're on stream, 70 people watching. Go on. Have a
Sure.
crack.
Wavy's an idiot. Lev is cringe as fuck. Byron, stop being so cringe as well. Like, grow up, man. You take the fucking Bye Boy Byron out your Twitter name, by the way. Disgusting. Not the bye part, just the actual Twitter name itself. Unlike that player. Callie's a bit of a crackhead, but he's alright. Wavy's an idiot.
Again.
He's a double idiot.
You want to get that in there one more time, just so that he's an idiot, so it takes him a while to get the fact that he is.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, okay.
Glenn's got a massive stonker of a nose.
And he's a Tory now.
Shout out to Trav for all the content he does.
Fuck
There
off.
you go. Gang.
Right, that's it. You think that it's done? I'm not even giving you any extra time because that last comment, you can fuck it. Rani, the newest member of the officially dog shit at League of Legends club. How's it feeling? You got anything you want to say?
Who else is in the club?
Lots of people, at least one person per episode, Rani. So like, there's like 15.
50,
Hey,
yeah.
Shenzin got donkeyed on by Key a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
So that's now nearly half of Hentai Haven crowned officially dog shit at League. So, you know, just need to get Beeg on here now. Actually, I was gonna say Sam, but he's actually decent at the game. So, you got anything that you want to say?
Yes. Can I also do a shout out?
Yeah. 30 seconds, off you go.
Suck
Yeah. Anything you want to say?
You'll
Literally
need to tap
anything.
now.
These are full 30 seconds that I can flame fucking live.
Oh my god.
Suck my dick, love. You're a little bitch boy, I hate you. Suck my dick.
Okay, well, that's all the time that we have for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If I was more prepared, I would have checked what games are going to be on stream before this. Actually,
I'll tell you now.
yeah, go on,
It's
tell
gonna
me.
It's going to be FMJ
Versus Vengeance Academy.
Vengeance, and then on the other one,
I don't remember.
we've got
Tempest.
yeah, Tempest versus Byron.
Versus
Byron, just
who?
Byron.
Oh, just Byron by himself. Okay, well, everyone watching on stream, I hope you enjoy the games to come. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Name It or Flame It.
Peace.
Yeet.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another piece of VL content here in Week 6, Day 1. We're down in Division 3. I guess it's not down. We're sitting in Division 3, and today I'm joined by the top laner for Team Tempest, Organised Crisis. How's it going, my man?
Hello, it's fine. Yeah.
Good. We've got another face cam reveal. Everyone's being face revealed today. It's great. If you go over to the other stream, you'll probably see a Raging Platypus's face reveal happening right now as well. But that's a story for another stream. Right now, what I want to know is who have you got playing tonight? Who's on the Team Tempest roster? Because I know you had some roster changes recently.
Yeah, so we managed to change the roster yesterday by like 15 minutes, I think. So it's me top. Jungle we'll use Nullo. Mid we have Grandmaster Zeno. ADC we have Paper Pirates, and support Deja.
Alright, fair play. Now, with this roster, right, I don't know any of these players besides you. And I also heard that you have a Grandmaster coach. Is that true?
Challenger coach.
A Challenger coach?
Yeah.
Wow. How have things been going with that? I've never even spoken to a Challenger player about League of Legends before. So, how's it like? What's it like getting coached by a Challenger coach?
So far it's been a little bit up and down. Don't get me wrong, he's amazing. Thing is, he's been on vacation, we have had players on vacation, so our practices have been kind of lacking lately. I think that you can see that in our results. So, but now that everyone's back from vacation and we'll get things going again, I think, yeah, we'll improve.
See. So you're expecting an improvement now that there's no more kind of like people here, people there, everyone changing around, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Given that, like, have you had a chance to scrim with this team, with your coach involved? Like, how has synergy gone leading up to this point? How are scrims and that kind of thing going?
The fact that we had 2 new players registered or signed yesterday, we haven't scrimmed yet with the new players, other than just tryouts yesterday. But I think scrims will go fine. The scrims we had earlier has been kinda but we had a lot of things to work on, and yeah, I think the coach's input so far has been good enough.
Alright, fair play. I mean, obviously, with things to work on, it's safe to say that the start of the split has not been as you may have liked it to be. So sometimes in situations like this, it's good to see roster changes like this. Clearly there was an issue before, and fingers crossed these new players will be able to solve those issues.
Yeah, I don't think there was any player issues, so to speak. The 1 player has left or 2 players has left, where we would like to have them. It's just more disagreements in how we do things in the team, I think, was the issue.
Yeah, I mean, so you can have player issues without it needing to be a mechanical thing. Clearly, if there was something wrong within the organization, things have to change. Because I'm not too sure where you'd have predicted yourself before, but with these changes to the roster now, does it change where you're aiming for as a team for this split?
I think before the split we had a team thing to aim for not finish last, and just because we're a new team, just started playing together, improve and become like a proper team together. And I think the the goal should stay the same, basically. Try to win a series or two before the end of the splits. Yeah.
Fair play. So the goal is to not get relegated. Do you think that that's achievable? I know that a lot of people in Division 3 have you guys at the bottom of the standings. Where do you see yourselves in comparison to the other teams?
I think players individually, I think every player individually is way good enough to not get relegated. I think the issue is as a team that we are so fresh together. I think the issue lies there. And if we're just able to get in some good sessions together, get more scrims, I think it should be fine to not get relegated, hopefully.
Okay, fair play. I mean, it's good to hear. It's good to hear that even with the unfortunate start that you've had to the split so far, hopes are high. I have all faith in you. I think you guys. I think you guys are. I don't think you'll get relegated. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, the team that we're up against now is definitely not a slouch. Deja Vu Academy. Have you prepped for them? Have you scrimmed against them yet? What are your thoughts?
No, we have not scrimmed them. I know some of the players there because I have played with some of the players before and tried out, and yeah, they're just fun games for them. So I know them a little bit, and I know Arby and his because he has some say in the team, right? How they play. I know him, so maybe it might be an advantage. And I think no team really know too much about us.
Yeah, I think you
right?
guys
So
are a bit of an enigma.
yeah, that might be an advantage too for us. So
Okay,
we'll
well,
see.
yeah. Have you got a prediction for this game? How do you see this game going?
It's gonna be a fiesta. It's gonna be a fucking Tempest, I tell you. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but
No, yeah, you are. It's okay. I swear all the time.
no, it's either 2-1 to them or 2-1 to us, I think, and the game's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least you're not coming in being over cocky and thinking it's going to be a 2-0 slam, and I appreciate teams that know where they're at and have themselves grounded. So, just for what's going to Champ Select, thank you very much for the interview. Really appreciate it, and absolutely best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're live for the Valorant League. I've made up with my casting partner, Nymera. I'm initialized, not Stanley Greyheart Barkley.
Oh, thank
will
God.
not be mentioned for another time in the stream. Filthy person coming in and stealing away my Kalakazu. Who the bloody hell do you think he is?
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't actually matter who I'm casting with. I do just get verbally abused for the entirety of the cast. It doesn't actually change that much.
The thing is, I actually sit next to you, so I can
Okay,
physically abuse him too.
Okay,
Um,
but more importantly, we do actually have a game to cast today. We're dipping down into Division 3.
Yep.
And it is going to be Deja Vu Academy. Of course, we've cast Deja Vu a number of times. A team we've got a good rapport with. But this time, they're fencing off against Tempest, a team which I've not managed to cast before.
Neither have I, but it's not been going especially well for Tempest thus far in the league. They are 0-4. They are -7 in game score, which means they have only won a single game, never mind a series.
So what you're saying is, we are going to be their good luck charm today.
That's it. Well, they're going to have to hope we're a good luck charm because Deja Vu are undefeated thus far at 3 wins and 6. Well, 6 wins, 3 series.
They're a NASA stack. Just +6.
+6. Well, they're looking to go to +8. See whether they can pull it off, though, or whether we are the good luck charm. I'll see if I can remember my Shakespeare quotes for Tempest.
I was going to say, one of my favorite anime is That's No Tempest.
And it's a great anime.
It's very good, which is kind of loosely based off of The Tempest by Shakespeare.
There you go.
So hopefully dancing across the pages of Summoner's Rift, like Shakespeare.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, he didn't go into Summoner's Rift. Shakespeare and Summoner's Rift. Now, that's something which I would have wanted to see.
Oh, man, full Fathom 5, thy father lies. in the river or in the death chamber. One of the two. Either way, we'll move on. And we're going to see a number of very, very targeted bans. Victor, Vladimir, both away from Van
and
Alphen.
Fathom, and beyond Fathom. See, when you said Fathom, I'm like, cool. I remember that one from Mega Mind, and we have Mega Balls. On
We
one
do
of
have
these
Mega
teams.
Balls, who allegedly, I'm checking out his Discord tag, is actually Byron Villa, another caster of friend of ours.
Wait, no, Sam, you meant to do that at the end of the Scooby-Doo episode. You had to take off the mask then.
Who has the Mega Balls? It's Byron Villa.
Or rips off the head. There's no mask. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm gonna have to say that like Garen is being controlled by Mega Balls, and we're gonna have to move on from that. You just play a lot of
Wait,
Mega
okay.
Garen.
Should we talk about bans and stuff?
We probably ought to. So
most of these are targeted.
They are.
It's not necessarily tier list. It's going towards various players. I think the ones which do stand out from that are the Caitlyn, which is still that tier list.
Yeah.
And then the Ashe has been picked up once again from Tempest. So Tempest got a little bit more on the tier list side of the drafting. However, on the other side, Volibear, another very high priority top jungle novice.
yes. And again, there's a couple of the really important target bans. Xerath against Grandmaster Zeno, who basically only plays that, it seems, to Q does a lot of that. And anybody who's done a bit of op.gging will know that Nalo Direct has got the most insane KDA stats on Hecarim right now. Over 20. We wondered whether there was some shenanigans going on there.
No, legit, we messaged the admin and said, hey, Nal, you're right, this guy, never checked if he's a Smurf. And he said, no, he's been looked into a lot. He's just an insane KDA player.
There you have it.
So I'm looking forward to see how that comes across in the game. If they end up losing, that's going to be... I want to see how he ends up getting those really high KDAs, because you can't just avoid kills. You need to not die as well.
Indeed.
Doing the both of those. By the way, Zeno, you know you're saying only plays Xerath? Go look at his recent OPGG. He's been playing a lot of Echo. That's what I'm looking at
now.
Maybe I've spoiled it. But you can just load up the OPG and see a lot of Echo in the
I
last
was just
couple
saying,
of games.
like, he has put a lot of time in his Xerath, so I could see that one being the obvious time. So perhaps I was speaking facetiously. Either way, we've got the beginnings of some team comps here. A lot of frontline with an Orianna for some backline deeps, and of course the couple ball delivery systems in Volibear and Fiona. Other side is Ashe Morgana, definitely pretty powerful as a duo.
Front to back team fighters.
And of course Vi for very much targeted pick CC. Ashe Arrow into Vault Breaker sounds pretty good to me.
So I've heard a lot of comparisons that Vi is just a less conventional set.
Sure,
They both dive into the team, lock up someone, do a large amount of damage to one target. They have shields on their kit. The problem with Vi is that she doesn't really get to choose when her shield comes up. It's on a passive cooldown, which means that when she casts an ability, she gets that that shield coming up. So she's just less consistent in what set might want to do. Does of course have that huge carry threat though. My laptop keeps flicking on and off, so I don't know whether. Okay, whatever. We'll just unlock that now. I mean, there's nothing interesting on here right now.
That is a shame. Why is there nothing interesting? I could be watching another stream right now.
I could be watching the Valence League.
Oh,
you know what I could do? What I could do is I could go to gamersapparel.co.uk /store/Valance, and I could get myself some merchandise. But of course, I wouldn't say that on stream being watched by people, because that'd be shilling out.
It would be. I wouldn't do that.
But if you wanted to do, but you know, I could do that.
Yeah,
I could. Just saying, it's not.
Okay. Well, Grandmaster Zeno will be locking in. Tristana.
I wrote down 3 picks for Zeno, which were Echo, Xerath, and Tristana. They locked in the third one. It looks like my notes are right.
Interesting. I put Xerath, Tristana, and Senna was the other one. And
Not me.
no, looking at the stats, quite possibly.
Sam, he's just okay. Whatever. Anyway, Triss, really good into Orianna in most phases of the game. Laning phase can be really awkward for the Orianna because as soon as Triss hits level 2, can jump onto you and you don't have a great way of trading back. The bomb goes on, the extra damage from the W pop. Really nasty, and Triss has been buffed, so when you do get that crit coming in from your second and third items, which is the most likely build, it does even more damage.
Speaking of things I wrote down,
Milk,
Lucas,
eggs, sugar.
And Lucas Bangalter locking in the Malphite was covering the Kale there, which is something I half wondered about whether to pick towards, but Malphite Orianna is a combo as old as, well, not quite time, but at least League of Legends, it feels like. Both are
oh, no, that's Echo Zillion.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yes.
It
is as old as time. Yes.
Nice prices, though, might be looking to respond to the Malphite with a large dinosaur on the top lane.
I really wanted to pick him something like Special Forces Gangplank. So, I mean, there's something to be said about, you know, what would have happened if the early arcade games had, like, just a little bit more timekeeping. Just, you know, weren't quite so messing. It wouldn't be Time Crisis, the Organized Crisis.
Organized Crisis.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens if, maybe that's like the school homework version, where, like, your teacher thinks it's cool. Like writes like a
you can shoot through your bad guys on the arcade machine with homework.
Yeah, with the right kind of trigonometric functions.
Yeah.
I mean, the physics to the physics.
So like actually Trig turns up a lot in games.
It does.
Just saying.
No, the amount of ballistics probability stuff I have to do, I never want to do that again. moving
no,
away
no,
from
Bliss
that.
is alright.
I just don't enjoy it.
No, the thing where it gets because we're in video games and stuff a lot. It's more about matrix transformations because that's how a computer knows how to move something. We have,
I wouldn't know. But there we go.
It's kind of
So, let's instead talk
Ow.
about some team comps. You just literally put your
No,
arm
it was
on
a
my
very
knee.
loud shout in my ear, Sam.
Ah, that too. Okay, fine. I was going to ask whether we should talk about team comps.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, I guess. Big team fight for both teams, basically. There's slightly more.
Yes.
There's slightly more pick CC. No, there isn't. Yeah, there's. I guess there's more single target pick on the side of Tempest. You can have Vi into Ashol, Morgbind, while Triss and Ash are wailing on them. I am worried that if you give up vision control, the Vi is just going to get picked off by the Leona, Volibear, Malphite in turn because the damage from Orianna Ezreal is very high.
Also, Vi going in doesn't necessarily always have the easiest way out.
I also think Shogath is going to be zoned off by Ori quite well.
Okay.
Ori Leona can just lock him up, and you do have the option to just run at them, have a Righteous Glory. I don't know whether it's going to be AP Shogath. Either way, I think that Organized Crisis could have a bit of a hard time reaching the backline, unless, of course, Vision Control and Teleport's going to play.
That said, that's not necessarily a problem for Vi. Very easy for her to just point and click on the right kind of people. Makes it pretty good versus the likes of Ezreal as well, who can't really escape from the Assault and Battery. So if we can get that working, definitely opportunities to maybe get into that back line. Got to keep an eye on Nalo Direct and see how they do.
See, I've gone with Naldirat. It's like Melody. Melody.
No, that's a good question. Is it?
Naldirat.
Is it Nalo Direct or Nalo?
You know what I'm doing? Okay, so growing up, to go to church, and there were many times where I was to read out some of the Old Testament shenanigans.
Yes.
Now, I'm not particularly religious myself now anymore, but one thing which I did learn, which I've carried through life, is if you say something with confidence, if you don't know how it's said, that is then the truth.
That is how it's true. Exactly.
Nebuchadnezzar, son of
Naladirect.
Naladirect. There you go. Say it with confidence,
say it
and
with
therefore
confidence.
it becomes. There's probably something very blasphemous about that. Actually.
Well.
Either way, look, don't sweat the small stuff so much. Try and educate yourself on the names as much as you can. Which, in fact, I could have asked
I
the
believe
player.
the Almighty has a sense of humour, so we'll move on from that because I certainly do right now. And right here with an interesting choices for sure. I believe it's probably easy to say the Deja Vu, obviously coming in favourites here. Let's make no bones about that. And I've got a pretty straightforward comp to execute with a lot of agency to start up fights when and where they want to.
I agree. I think that Vi gets popping off as well. Volibear will not particularly like that matchup. I think Vi can very much outduel the Volibear given all the nerfs and stuff. Also worth noting, guys, of course, there is Valence League 2.
There is.
On at the same time, cast by Motojo and Metapocalypse, and they're going to be covering Vengeance Academy versus Full Mental Jacket. We covered Full Mental Jacket, of course, in one of our series. So if you do want to go catch those guys, please go check them out.
But don't stay here.
Stay here.
Stay here.
No, not better. No, we love those guys. You know.
Don't leave us.
Is this healthy competition or just competition?
Just competition. It's always healthy because I'm always right, and therefore I'm telling you it's healthy.
Yeah, no, it's a healthy thing to tell the truth.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know where I'm going from this, by the way.
Do I? But here we are. Spectator delay is kind of done. Of course, that's the way it is when we are in client side this way, just to make sure, of course, integrity and the likes.
Well, we don't get control over it.
And we don't get control either. So take it up with the right games if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a bit different when you're on Tournament Realm. Tournament Realm, of course, allows you to do stuff. You know, I do have a Tournament Realm account.
You do?
Yeah,
I'm very jealous.
I didn't actually have to use it, so I have one just for show. I do have one because I was casting thing earlier this year. Okay. Right, Halo Blaze Fire. That's an interesting thing. It's going to be AP Cho'Gath 2, the Glacial. See that loading.
That's it. So it's going to be that question. Yeah, but it's worth noting that as well. Thank you very much. Just getting some quick production notes thrown at me, which is very helpful. And we'll take a vote for now.
Okay, you say that. I was like, oh, throw it to a video. We've got a 20-second video.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I'm pointing out to you a message on the stream like, whoa, go to a video. Okay, video now. Thank you. Please, get it away from us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The smoothest transition of all time.
Yeah.
I clearly didn't quite get the message as
You
intended.
did get the message. It was like, it lights up on your screen. You were acid.
I was actually making coffee at the time, so I didn't see it.
Hang on, how long ago was it put in? Let me name
10
and
minutes
shame. 10 minutes ago? Yeah, well, more than no, actually, Sam, it was...
Well, it was 10 minutes before we were on stream.
So it
We
was,
were on at 7.
so it was half an hour ago.
It was 10 minutes ago on stream. Before we were on stream is more what I was getting at.
Okay.
Which was, so I wasn't actually at
Well,
my
you know,
computer.
we are now in the time crisis.
We are.
Organized crisis, be damned. We're
Yeah,
in the arcade
like,
game.
very disorganized crisis as far as
Yeah.
what's going on. But,
Ain't always that way.
I have to say,
I'm wheeled out of my hyperbolic time chamber to come cast some Balance League. I'm like, okay, cool, you got this amount of time to prep and get into game. And
That's it. And what I
thank
did
God they don't have us on webcam because
yeah, I'd be
I'm
fine.
just half dead.
Yeah,
I had an 11-hour cast
Oh,
production
man.
shift yesterday.
yeah, it was pretty rough. You say it was 11 hours because you did take some siestas mid game to allow.
I let the casters go off and napped for 5 minutes. That's what I did.
Oh man. Well, there you go. That's production skills for you. But we are on to the Rift at this point. I'm sure we'll be syncing up very shortly. The usual 10-second mark, as is the way of these things.
And we're at 10.
All right, synced up and on to play as prop. You can see it'll be a Mountain Drake first. We've got to see whether there'll be any level 1 shenanigans. Definitely a possibility with the likes of a Leona and Morgana. Hell, a Vi have got enough CC to cause a little chaos in the early game should a team win.
And with the Hail of Blades coming out of Vi, we could very much see Triforce, Starrick's very high Brawler Bruiser build. If Naldi Rat is this huge KDA player and gets that KDA rolling, we're expecting a lot of damage coming out of that jungler.
Mega Ball will put down a ward and take a couple shots to the face.
I'm sorry, were you trying to make a joke? I can tell you.
I know, I was just worried I was making a joke unintentionally there. Phrasing is a difficult one when you've got a name literally called Mega Ball.
Yes.
What can I say? It's like, maybe that's what happened to, you know, C9's old roster. Moved it when Balls moved from Los Angeles over to Europe. And
Wasn't
evolved.
he on FlyQuest first?
He was on FlyQuest.
Maybe he booked a ticket with FlyQuest Airlines.
Yeah, that's it. And has now joined up with Deja Vu Academy.
It's a worrying trend.
It is a worrying trend, that's for sure.
Really,
And this
not
is where
quite
he
getting
is
a pentakill at Worlds.
now. Not on Darius either, but he's on Volleybet, so maybe he can buck the worrying trend. Start off well. He'll be starting on the blue buff here, by the way, and looking to roam towards the southern ends of the map, which not a bad call versus Ash Morgana, who will probably have the shove early versus Ezreal.
I am thinking about the team comps a little bit more. Pretty worried for Tempest. I'm not sure whether Triss is going to be able to stay safe enough versus... If you're just watching out for one thing, that's okay. You're watching out for the Solar Flare. Right, okay, we can flash out of that. But when you're watching out for like 3-4 things which can shut you down, when you are most of the damage on your team as the Triss and the Ashe, it's going to be pretty difficult keeping yourself alive in the late game fights.
Yes, that's definitely going to be a concern. That got to get to that late game first, though. There's always that possibility. In early games have warped more than a few VL games. That's
Really?
like that wasn't being facetious. I was being very factual there. But for now, we've yet to see anything super crazy happen. But I wouldn't imagine that lasts all that much longer. And again, Tempest have been struggling. They are -7 in game score. Never mind just steals.
Yeah, not the best game score ever.
Which is a challenge, of course.
Yeah, no, but there have been great many comeback stories in League of Legends and in VL even, right? In fact, we've passed our fair share of reverse sweeps, if not in the season itself, because you've got to keep up long term for those ones. Sometimes they turn up too, having the Schalke run the miracle run.
Well, they don't know to see if anyone fancies being Gilius. Of course, not the initial submitted jungler from way back in the initial part of the split. Is a replacement for guy which is Barco, who used to play Shaco a lot. Not there right now. So
You just take him onto the checkout.
apparently so. Just like he's been checked out of Balance League, or at least out of 10.
Unexpected item in the bagging area.
Saw the level 3 hit there for Grandmaster Zeno. Look to try and index what Tristana can do, which is put the bomb on, hop on someone, and make them really suffer.
Another really big thing is that Trist versus Mages doesn't need to worry about mana nearly as much as someone like Syndra, Orianna, or Azir. You can just trade mana for mana, and you always come out on top of that because your wave shove is so passive from your E passive. The explosive shove means that you get control over that minion wave. You can jump forward with really big trades using the bit of mana you do want to use to spend in the laning phase, and you tend to win out in HP and mana at that point.
If you're against an Orianna who autos aren't exactly bad with Clockwork Wind-Up, but that's versus an AD carry.
But look
so,
already, like a third
yes.
mana to almost full.
It's a big deal.
I mean, the pot's been popped for Grandmaster Zeno, and I do like that Oria's got the wave frozen close to the turret. That's a big thing when you're playing against an aggressive laner. LeBlanc, Yasuo, Aurelia, Fizz. If you have the wave at your own tower, it nullifies a lot of their options.
See the ball coming out now as well, just offering something of a zoning tool. It's definitely Orianna's play pattern. Even into the likes of an AD carry who does normally want to punish a little bit to step far forwards. But thus far, mid lane, just with trades, but nothing more coming of it as yet. My eyes instead will be turning over to junglers, and you can see Volibear the early invade onto Vi's Gromp to that one.
Bertha, yes, how we have missed you. Relatively even so far. We've got a dragon and half amount. Both of these junglers can take early dragons, depends on where the lane prior is at that point. There's no teleports in the AD carries. Sometimes we see that in the current meta. And it looks like Ezreal and Leona have got the push in so far. I was wondering, because Vi was on the bottom side of the map, whether there would be a gank, but Mega Balls is... well, of course, he went for that. I'm sorry, I was like, Mega Balls. I'll just leave it at that. Let that hang. Let it faster.
Hang. Wow, man.
Yeah, it's the low-hanging fruit, I tell you. He got a ward in, took out Bertha.
Alright, yeah, it does take out Bertha. Silence will do Lucas Bang Alter. Fate Stay Night fan with a name like that. Move on.
Oh, really?
No.
Sam, I don't know I play that. I know that series. I don't know what you're talking about with that. Oh, Alter.
Yeah.
Alter. Sam, Alter is actually a word.
It is.
Like, you can set something up. Like, Alter is a very...
I was trying to make it a passing comment. It's not anymore.
Maybe you should
dragged it back.
Maybe
you want to beat the dead horse a little
Maybe
bit
you
more.
should alter your reference.
I could, but why would I do that? I could just leave. I could have just moved on. But no, we're back.
The River Gamgees.
All right.
Sure. Riff off of that.
Yeah, all right. So we're in India now. I'm assuming. River Gamgees is India.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm a geography result.
Yeah, like
Medic, however, he was born in.
He was
Castle.
born in.
You know, the reason I say that in terms of random references, because it's a family story where we've played... Okay,
Never mind. All right. Black Shield was late. Vizera does still get to walk away. And Paper Pirate is not a Paper Tiger. And throwing a fair amount of work at the end of that.
Wow.
Binding lands as well. Eclipse was thrown up. But Jazza
can go get themselves a drink because they've been bound for that long by the dog binding.
Indeed. Not a lot else found there. Level 6s have now hit for solo laners, though, and Malphite Orianna can
Does this
definitely
mean
look to get
there are
going to
be too many fights for me to talk about the River Gamgees?
No, but you will get to talk about Mountain Drake going down first before this fight. No?
Well, the thing is, for the team of Tempest, they're not really going to be building that many resists with the AP top lane Shogath 2. It's more of a takeaway from Malphite, Volley, Leona. Which is nice in its own way. Again, 4%. Yeah, 6%. That's the one. It's 4% stats from Infernal. That's the one. Taking away the 6% resist from 2-3 tanky members is very nice, particularly when you do have a high damage team in the Cho'Gath, Triss, Vi. Yeah, more of a takeaway than a real game for themselves.
Okay, yeah, that I can definitely understand, and that takeaway is often something you can just do, especially early on when like just convenient Drake sometimes. Like you get a good back, someone else stacked on the bot side, free Drake. And generally the moments of high tension tend to come. Being caught out here, we'll have to take these musings a little bit later. Mega Ball's looking to turn this around though. Here comes the Stormbringer. There is no level 6 for Naladira. Taken pretty low, but does manage to get out, and first blood goes the way of Paper Pirate, who flashes in. In the mid lane, though, it'll be Grandmaster Zeno who gets a kill onto Van Offel. And now, with Mega Balls over the wall, Paper Pirate finally goes down, but now this Volibear is caught in here, and he will go down as well as a Vault Breaker comes out, but Lucas Bang Alter turns it around, flash out, but Grandmaster Zeno is here, in wait, throwing out as many auto attacks as possible, gets the pop after he jumps in, and now with another jump, will get the kill, and that will be 4-2 overall, but Organized Crisis is anything but organized and turning up here to make Autumn 24/7's days significantly more numbered than the name might suggest.
Injecting a bit of chaos is Organized Crisis, manages to get the teleport down to the bot side. Overall, that's a 4-2. That's a lot of kills this early into the game, and who's the beneficiary? It is, of course, that Tristana over everyone else. We talked about how it's a good matchup into the Orianna, gets a solo kill onto Van Offel, and then continues to stomp over the rest of the fight, gets another double reset after popping the bomb onto the Malphite, managing to chase that down after a good binding across the world from Zera. A wall, not across the world, that'd be an incredible binding. That would be, yeah.
That would be praise Ash Arrow kind of.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a 1,000. Well, no, it's about 500 gold lead in this early game, so not bad. Could have been better, but then the CSE leads kind of even things up.
Seeing some massive experience discrepancy. Zera is level 6 after all those assists came through. Jazza is still down at level 4, just base stat-wise. That's pretty rough.
I'm trying to look across the rest of the map. Nothing really shown thus far. Xeno has a blue buff, has the O's. I don't think you want to jump up to that.
Could be in trouble. There is no flash and just a lot of autos now available. Half HP for Van Offel, and there's no ignite available for Grandmaster Xeno. There is a flash, so even the shockwave isn't exactly guaranteed to land at this point.
This is the thing, right? It's one of the reasons Lucian came in as an Orianna counter. You can use your mobility to get out of the shockwave or out of a QW combo, and then your damage from auto attacks, whilst also being able to build lifesteal, just out damages the Orianna for the rest of that trade.
Well, Orianna needs to be able to keep her distance. Mega Balls might be finding some trouble in his own jungle as Vi and Tristana are on the hunt. You can see Cho'Gath wandering past a ward will alert the side of Deja Vu Academy that they might be in for another fight that they saw earlier on in the game. We will avoid the initial D references that not the case.
You say that, but you have referenced them by saying you're going to avoid
I know. Did you see how clever I was about that? Wow, man. All right. Lucas Bang Alter here to take some trades from
Wait,
this
did you miss that silence?
I think he might have
Definitely
done.
missed that cue.
Yeah, that quite clearly did, indeed.
But still, doing pretty okay in the matchup. Getting good HP.
Right. Tristana plus Herald, though, is going to be a lot of damage onto this mid lane turret, and 4 plates likely to fall, but here comes Mega Balls. Doesn't actually find all that much, though, because of a good buster shot and, of course, a rocket jump. Will save the tower, but little else to be found there for the volley.
Ah, yes. You see, you can't disable your own tower. No, it's an ult for ultimate trade. The Skyrender?
Stormbringer, Sky Splitter.
That one, I was like, it's not
That's a
Sky
great name,
Caller, it's
but
not
it's
Sky Caller for the... anyway, so the volley ult comes out. So does the Trist ult to disengage at the end of it after he uses the Chilling Smite to try and threaten onto the mid jungle of Tempest. Doesn't end up leading to anything, just, saves the turret for now.
See as well, this Mal fight possibly going towards a rower build here, which is all well and good. Of course, the Abyssal Mask is still an option, but for now it means
could also be Righteous Glory.
all these things of what is an opportunity right now. Well, of course, what it does mean is there is some worries that if at the moment Cho'Gath can continue to get the counter trades he was getting there, get too low, Feast can definitely ruin your day, especially while you're not so tanky.
There was a point where Cho'Gath could have gotten a kill with his Feast just to finish off, I believe it was... might have been Volibear in the pit earlier. I know that kind of already this kill was secured anyway, but maybe it would have been nice just to get that earlier stack. Because Cho'Gath has a lot of stacks. A lot more damage result as game goes on. Nice to stack them up.
Well, either way, we are going to see Dragon start up again for Tempest here, looking to continue the earlier trades. We'll get it secured, I believe, that time by the Feast. Crisis.
Nice.
Dinosaur on dinosaur combat, really horrifying.
Are dragons dinosaurs?
They're lizards, and I think that possibly at least puts them in a similar family.
I was about to say, yeah, but then you could say that
Genus?
dogs and whales are both mammals. They are therefore very similar. I mean, they are
Dogs,
similar in some
whales
ways,
are now the dogs of the sea.
As a point, are there actually sea dog thing? I mean,
Is it like dolphins, maybe?
yeah, dolphins seem like much more social in that regard.
I mean, whales sing to each other. Pretty social
So do,
lives.
so do dogs. but
Killer
then-
whales are pretty hunting pack-like, they're a bit wolf-like. They're considered like,
Canids.
I suppose.
Kinda, I guess. You know, there was only like 12 known albino orcas.
No, I didn't, but that's kind of cool. But I wasn't expecting that.
I only had them at 12 and photo.
Oh,
I saw it on the internet, so therefore it must be.
Is that what Moby Dick was?
No, that wasn't a killer whale. That was.
Quite possibly. I've never actually read Moby Dick.
Having said
which
sperm
is-
whales are very, very.
I
aggressive.
refuse to do it. Like I didn't do Victorian literature at university. Never. But either way, we're going to see some pressure on the bot side. And actually,
Well-
despite Tempest kind of being struggling in the league, up about 1,000 gold right now.
Speaking of Moby Dick, Mega Balls.
It's too easy. It's too easy. All right. Professional cast. Organized Crisis off against Van Offel, who does get hit by a rupture.
like
That's the GLP as well, but out of the silence.
It's like when
goes.
Whale Lord uses Body Slam.
It's just awful. I mean, Mega Balls does have the Stormbringer, which is kind of a body slam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm
Mega
normally
Balls
much
goes for
more
a body
mature than
slam.
this. I can't.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know what you're saying. This is
Right, okay, 1,000 gold lead, 13 minutes in. That's actually not that big of a lead, but first item has been completed by the Tristana. That's the first big thing that's happened. Obviously, no Herald and inventories just yet. Next one spawning in a minute and a half, whereas we do have an Infernal Rift.
which
It's nice, that's nice. Very, very good for the
Double lady carry.
of
Oh gosh.
Tempest. That's the best soul they could have hoped for here, because there's a chance you get burst out if you have Ocean Soul. So if you have Ocean Soul, there's a good chance you still get 100 to 0, and that regen doesn't mean anything in larger fights in late game. Cloud Soul, yeah, I guess it's nice for your Cho'Gath having lower cooldown, and of course Ashe having that cooldown build on the Essence River. That's your main engage. That's kind of cool. But when you have a range advantage, when you do have Trist and Ashe firing from the backline, and stuff like even Morgana's pool proc in the Infernal Soul, it's just way higher value for this team comp than any of the other souls they could have got. So good job on rolling the RNG though.
Yeah, clearly planned.
Look how professional we can be when we're not talking about Moby Dick and Mega Balls.
Well, yeah. It's, do you think it's like a?
Can we stop, please?
like a Pokemon evolution? Is it an X or Y Pokemon evolution?
Balls Mega evolved into Mega Balls. I mean,
Is it like a stone that allows an evolution into Mega
no,
Balls?
I was about to say, like, you talking about kidney stones at this point, or that's horrible.
I was just saying, you got to ask these questions.
I don't think you do, Sam.
Quite important. I mean,
Hey.
I'm well impressed with the NA casters. They're getting away with this with C9 Balls for a long time.
Oh, do you remember that one guy? Who just say the one guy in the crowd in the LCS was going balls.
No, I don't, but I wish I did remember that.
Well,
Either way,
we can
first
have them in
turret.
Twitch chat now. Oh.
First turret goes the way
This
of
could be like
Tempest.
Twitch plays Pokemon, but Balance League. And
Balance League. Well, I mean, like, yeah, they've clearly decided.
no, that's Div 4. That's
right.
That's
yes.
Twitch plays League of Legends. Right,
Right,
gotcha.
right, I'm with you.
Right.
Who was it that made a controller for League of Legends?
It was that guy who does everything in German.
Yeah.
He also played with mashing bananas
That's
too.
right. He did all right, didn't he? He hit like gold or something by mashing bananas as controllers. That's quite impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Slightly disappointing that like there's a good half the population of like ranked population are less good than a man. Can't beat a man
Playing with
mashing
bananas.
bananas. But
Or
second-
playing with actual a racing sim setup, the steering wheel.
that's exactly it. However, Tempest have secured themselves second Herald,
arrow.
and that is a fantastic arrow. All memes aside, Van Alphen is in serious bother. Assault and battery will send Van Alphen straight to jail, or at least to the death chamber.
And assaulted and battered like a fish. Going back to Moby Dick.
All right.
Anyway, he's dead, gone, took that hook, line, and sinker. Didn't have himself the Seraphs to defend himself in that way, and of course no team members on that side of the map.
Vault Breaker comes out. Dark Binding does go wide, though, and it means that Jansen gets a chance to flash out. But here comes Grandmaster Zeno. Solar Flare was good, but not good enough. And that will be another kill going the way of Tempest, who are leading the kill score 6-2. And I have yet to see a proactive play from Deja Vu Academy. They've been responding at the best of times right
They
now.
have, and Ori was just pushed too far up. Didn't respect where the rest of Tempest could be. Gets picked off after a very long in range engage from the Ashe. I thought that actually it was too long range at first. I thought, hey, they won't be able to follow up on that. Stun was long enough. Of course, that Vi, who can engage for such a long way away, follow up on the kill. Now set 2-1-2. Going for the Cinderhulk build. Looks like it's going to be a Starks coming in next, which will be very good for surviving and being the extra front line, which, of course, we said, front line of the Deja Vu Academy, going to be relatively strong this game. Might give them a bit of a fighting chance in that kind of area of the team fight.
Need to get there, though. It's only 17 minutes in, and they are down 2,500 gold. They're going to start up this Infernal Drake and take it before Tempest can come around. They were around, but they backed off, and now Mega Balls going in takes a rupture to the face after the ult comes out. Ashe Arrow will try and disengage onto the Malphite, but now Tempest need to continue to back away before the combos can come through, and they will back out, but they just kind of gave that one up.
Dude, looks like Tempest is sticking around. Van Alpha's in a very bad spot.
Dark Binding misses. Shockwave goes onto one. It's only onto Organized Christ, so he's taken pretty low. Has to be pretty afraid here, but now the silence comes out to Lucas Bang Alter, but Autumn 24/7 gets a hold of Visera. That's a trade back by Organized Crisis, but it's swiftly turned around again by the opposing top laner. And now the top side needs to be afraid, but they do escape. And Ezreal throwing some poke out that doesn't last. It is a 2-for-1. Oh, I apologize, 2-for-2 in the end because Mega Balls fell as well, but little else to be found there.
And yes, Mega Balls finally drops at the back end of that fight. You'll notice that the Malphite ult wasn't used at all during that. The Oriana also. One person. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. It is the official match build. 4 out of 5. and Paper Pirate and Nala Direct will find their way out. Bang Alter just kind of here to get some way from the mid, and
It was a very close fight, all things said.
It
though.
was very close.
You could see that Tempest were reaching pretty deep to try and... it was very risky of them to turn around that fight. They did still have the Viol. That was nice. Okay, cool. And you know that your Trist is strong. Nice. Get reset, start turning things around. I think there were a lot of points there where we could have had a multi-man Malphite ult. However, got taken so low, became very, very vulnerable towards the back end of that fight. It's only like 200 HP. Now we have a group up with this again, the ultimate's back up, look for a dive. Very, very dangerous Tempest now.
okay, well, mid lane siege is on, and Tempest do have to be aware they've started well in that game, but that last fight was a little bit disorganized. Maybe we're seeing some of the cracks start to show. Still, they have got a 3-1 Tristana, a 2-1 Vi, and a 2-1 Ashe. But Lucas Bang Alter looking to turn it around. The heal came out, buys time. But now the stun's out of Nalidaro, who gets shut down by Mega Balls with the ball now on top of him. That's not a ball, that's an explosive charge. Thank you, Demon Tristana, for those confusing animations. But it is 3 for none by the time it ends. Paper Pirate does get 1 onto Jazza, so that will make it a 3 for 1. But the mid tower falls, and Deja Vu Academy force hard and get the victory.
I was before that last dragon fight, I was starting to worry if Deja Vu Academy were going to just get out-skirmished by Tempest, but they just forced the 5v5. There was no objective here. There was a mid lane turret, and you can see that Tempest just didn't respect that engage. It wasn't even the closest engage. We saw the Malphite ult without the Oriana ult on top of it again. I mean, these ults have not yet connected, and this fight still goes the way of Deja Vu.
Yeah, and like, I thought maybe they could turn around because the heal was very swift there. Maybe they were trying to bait it out, but then it doesn't matter because Mega Balls comes in, turns off the tower, and there is just enough damage at that point.
And you have a 2-item Ezreal. With something which we haven't touched on just yet, but Muramana Ice-One Gauntlet. That's just a lot of damage. You have one really strong AD carry on one side of the Trist, but being the same level of the Ezreal, level 11 to level 11, too many 11s in one sentence there, it's like strange. And this Trist has not really got the stats to really brawl with the even one-on-one with something like that. As soon as there's another person wrapped in there in a larger team fight, Trist is going to find it very hard to find space. And that's what we were talking about in regards to the Solar Flare, the Shockwave, the Unstoppable Force. Well, Ezreal having so much damage is another way to ward people off a certain area of a team fight too.
You've just got to be kind of afraid. There was always that option, right? That Oriana and Ezreal get to just sit behind their backline and throw out damage, and they are hitting those points. Yeah, the Oriana is always behind, don't get me wrong. Finally, just as I speak about it, got the Seraph's Embrace.
Has a level up on the Trist though still.
Has a level up on the
4
Trist.
TTS lead.
So, you know, there is this world, right, where Trist, despite the early kills, did fall behind in farm.
Yeah,
and Van
same
Off-
gold now.
Yeah, and Van Offel would love to be at 2 items. Not right now, but the Ezreal is, and is still doing pretty well in comparison to this Trist, who's just not hit the right farm numbers. Direct was looking for something there, but not enough wards, and Swift Seismic Shard Bangle dissuades a little bit anything of an engage. It is 20 seconds to an Infernal Drake, and I suspect this will be our next point of
Okay,
protection.
so important point, there is an Aegis of the Legion in Ezreal's inventory. The extra defensive stats are really, really nice. Also have that 30% CDR from having the Onion boost too. Let's see if that works out in this fight.
Naladara gets caught out, was left by his team, is now in trouble, but the shield's coming out. That is the Assault and Battery and the Vault Breaker now, and they're going to try and turn it around in the back end of this fight, though. Grandmaster Xena falls down. Jazza will be the trade. Organized Crisis gets that one. Now Lucas Bang Alter throwing up Seismic Shards, trying to find something. It is a Shockwave. It's only onto Cho'Gath, but it is enough to secure the kill. It is 2 for 1. The jungler is alive. Now, Ladira is alive, but so is Mega Balls, and they both have Smite, and there just doesn't seem to be a way for this to go wrong for now. These volleys, though, from Ashe may be making you question it, and you can see that Vi, over the back of the pit, is looking to maybe get in and stew. Lucas Bang Alter flashes away from a Dark Binding, and maybe Deja Vu have just taken a little too long to take this dragon. It's a lot of low health bars, particularly on the frontliners here. And just the range poke from this Ashe and this Morgana are making things scary. It's 3 seconds until Organized Crisis can TP in. And Vi has not been shut down. Gets tagged by the True Shot barrage, and
Oh,
it
that's
will
a
still go
TP.
down. Here comes the TP, but it's a little late. And now the Zenith Blade comes out. Rupture interrupts Mega Bolt with the flash, the Shield of Daybreak. Paper Pirate is turned into a paper plane and sent straight back to the fountain, and that will be the end of the fight in a resounding victory for Deja Vu Academy, even if it was sloppy at the end.
Cut up into origami by, as we were saying, the power spikes reached from Deja Vu Academy. Back end after the first 2-for-1 happens, a little bit sloppy. You can see that they're still trying to fish for the right kind of skill shots from the Ezreal to land, whilst also trying to dodge out in the Dark Bindings. Came down to a 50-50 on the Dragon. Does go the way of Volibear. I'm not saying that name again, I'm sorry. But what that does mean is that after the fight was committed to once again by Vibe getting stuck in looking for the steal, means that Ezreal once again cleans up. 6-0-4, looking very, very strong.
Oh, it feels like it all over again. Paper Pirate, that paper boat floating down the river and finds the waiting
You know, I
jaws.
never saw that movie.
Did you not
Nope,
see
never
it?
seen
It was a really good
And I'd
adaptation.
say I have watched my fair share of horror movies. I have. So, and I heard it was very, very good. I just never found the time.
Like, I think the reason it was actually pretty good was while it, was a good horror movie in itself, there was a lot more to it than just straight scare you. You know what I mean? They did a lot of good conversations about society, did some pretty hard conversations, frankly, about society in a way that made the film a lot more than just kind of cheap thrills.
Oh,
So
you should go watch Train to Busan.
I heard that was supposed to be very good.
It's a Korean horror movie, so obviously being Korean, it's obviously better at least.
Oh wait, may have to wait and talk about this later. Korean League of Legends is not what we're seeing right now because it's a turnaround.
can't kill him!
On the Engage, Shockwave comes out, but now actually with the Blade of the Ruin King, well, it's not even a Blade of the Ruin King, it's Essence Reaver on Ash. It's not the best tank strat, and now the Direct had gone forward there and actually maybe regretting that. There is a turnaround with the ultimate, but it's still godlike for this Ezreal, who is now at 3 items in Organized Crisis. Crisis for sure, Organized certainly not. And now the Morgana will run away, but it's another 3 kills over to Deja Vu Academy. And now they're thinking about Baron, and it's only a underleveled Tristana and half-health Morgana to try and stop it.
There was such a long period of time where, oh, okay, Binding lands.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to master C. Oh god, dead. 8-0-5 is Autumn 24/7. Jazza falls down to the explosive jar, but Vizera is about to fall down to a Mystic shot over the back there. And Autumn 24/7 is about to make it feel like it is winter right now for Team Tempest, because they can find nothing in this game. It's all gone wrong, and, well, they're going to have to hope there's a spring yet in this series, because it's not looking great right now.
I'm trying to think of anything seasonal to say. I can't anyway, right? It is the Baron over to Deja Vu, who turned on the go button around that third dragon, and they haven't looked back since then. Every fight has gone their way. We saw what happens when you try and focus down Volibear, who has gone for Stone Plate second in the jungle. Too many resists, pops the active, too much HP. You just cannot cut through this guy quick enough, even with 3 people wailing on them. And this Triss, once again, it's just finding it so hard to make anything stick.
The AD carry there was Ash, and Ash has gone Essence Reaver first, not Blade of the Ruin King, which is what you do, which is their kind of that anti-tank option.
I am going to start out that Essence Reaver is higher damage.
Yeah.
Not far hard enough for this game. 3 levels down on the AD carry.
Plus it's against-
4,000 gold down on the AD carry.
Plus it's versus Stoneplate Chain Vest. Like, that's pretty good versus Great Build.
Yeah, stealthy. I think you maybe need to go for a Lord Doms now. I think
Yeah,
I see those 2 long swords in inventory. It might be going to a Last Whisper. Might go towards Blade, as you're saying, for that anti-tank ability. But I don't even know if there is going to be a point where you can survive long enough into this game, even into one fight, to do the damage you need to.
Well, we're going to see where this goes for now. It's about 5,000 in the gold lead. Deja Vu Academy, they are shoving in. They have got level advantages. They have an Ezreal that is frankly unkillable, it feels like at this point. If he was to ever get caught, then maybe there is a turnaround. Maybe there is a world where something comes in favor of Tempest. But for now, they have to just survive this Baron push, and it's not looking all that easy right now.
No, it is not, and that's because this is the siege we saw on that mid lane outer turret so far away. In this game, it seems it's been so long since that time, but with the Baron buff, it just makes this team comp so much easier to play. This Vi is going to die when she dives in. We thought that going for the Sentinel might make it easier, but easier than what at this point, really?
Well, I wish I could give you an answer, but not a lot, frankly, right now.
Not taking candy from a baby. Very, very hard.
Surprisingly challenging, yes. Also societally quite frowned upon. Don't recommend it. Binding lands there, but it's only onto the
Oh, what was
Leona
that?
and Mega Bells in the backline. balls deep, one might say, doing exceptionally well in the backline here, causing all sorts of casual. Van Offel with even more work gets a kill at the back end of this one. Mega Balls is here going golden. Will survive for now as Lucas Bang Alter gets knocked up, but a little more to get out of that particular one. And now the Baron push will continue with 3 members dead. I feel like that's been a number that Tempest have become far too familiar with at this point. Full Fathom 5, this victory lies, i.e. very much on the other side of the rift. Better hope for a Shakespearean turnaround in the next game, because for this one, it's very much Deja Vu Academy. Got him to finish up, though. An Organized Crisis maybe making me feel a little bit wrong here.
Wait, no way!
And they have done it! They've held on. Triple kill goes the way of Paper Pirate. We called it over, or rather, I called it over. I saw that Nexus done. And instead, the respawns were swift enough. Ash had damage enough to make me eat my words.
And diving in deep with Lucas Bang Alter of Mega Balls. What a night to remember. And but it's not quite enough to finish off the Nexus. I'm sorry, all I could think of with the Nexus was
wait, it's not done. At Ezreal being caught 10, 0, and 6. And is there for the pickings for Paper Pirate. That is a shutdown to remember. It is an Infernal Drake to remember. And this game isn't over. We were writing it off and it felt like there was no way they could lose. Instead, they are now at Infernal Soul Point. They got 4 kills onto this Ashe, including 1,000 gold shutdown.
Only 1,000 gold behind the Ezreal now, or thereabouts. 1,500.
That's a full item, easily.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, we
There
talk
it is.
about getting into... Get a Last Whisper, go swimming with that. It has now got the Mortal Reminder versus the Ezreal with the Death's Dance having... Actually, that's legitimate, the only healing on the team, but versus the Death's Dance, very, very useful. You also have a Thorn Mail on your Cho'Gath now after going for the double glacial items. Maybe... Okay, maybe you can fight front to back, but not having a stopwatch on your Morgana. Okay, at least it's the Zhonya's. It's going to recharge. Going to be slightly less convenient.
Wait, that's a bit frustrating. Volibear, I suppose, kind of comes with a certain amount of healing off the ultimate, I guess. I don't know whether it actually affects
No,
that.
no, that's just an extra HP.
Okay,
It's the
fair
same as Dominus or
yeah.
Nasus ult.
So I wasn't sure whether that would count.
It's like
It's like of course, old Volibear's kit was very much around healing.
Yeah, it's all passive. I know that Lulu's ult, the Wild Growth, doesn't actually count as a heal. It just counts as an extra bonus amount of HP. It's not...
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not regenerating, it's adding something on.
Would you rather have seen Lord Dom's regards here?
I think so. Well, it's difficult, right? Because you need someone to take down the Ezreal, but then I think the way it's going right now, it is going to go front-to-back team fight, so if you can kill the front line,
It's more efficient.
It's way more efficient to go for Lord Doms. Well, we'll have to see if Ashe is hitting the Ezreal, and if Ashe manages to hit the Ezreal and win the team fight through that, then yeah, okay, it's been worth it. But can you engineer the team fight so it becomes like that? We'll have to see.
3 items now on Orianna as well. That is a death cap in. It is 4 on Ezreal. They finally got to go back and buy up all the items they could from inventory. It might swing this game. We'll have to see. That last fight, yeah, they were playing with a lot of golden pocket, not in items, and that's always a difficulty. It's got this Ashe up to 3 items, but the question is whether it's going to be. And I'm not sure it is right now. They've got to be so afraid with their Nexus exposed.
They do. At least they don't have a huge split pushing threat, someone that can backdoor on the side of Deja Vu Academy. Now the problem is, if you go for this Baron and someone dies to steal it, even if you do get it, then you cannot defend your open Nexus. You might have the minions, but you can just walk past them to finish it off.
Baron's being started, and Tempest are coming, but they might be a little slow. Big Pirate is here. He's using the volley, but it is Lucas Bang Alter on this Malphite. It's just buying time. There is Flash Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath's beef is just more damage than a Smite. He needs to stay alive there, and they're just turning on to him. Organized Crisis goes down. Van Offel will pick that one up, and they are right back to the Baron. Vault Breaker being charged, looking to try and get over. That's the Zenith Blade to prevent the Vi getting into Shockwave. This will be Baron over to Deja Vu Academy. They have crossed the I, or the T's, dotted the I's. Mega Balls is over, but wait. Ashe, try to stay alive. Paper Pirate is now in a 1v foul scenario. Teleport coming out of Lucas Bang Alter, and with Autumn 24/7 looking to make sure Ashe can get nowhere near this Nexus, this game is surely over this time. There can be surely no way they hold on. They're teleporting in, and it will be a last desperate gasp from Tempest to try and hold on. They are, but it's not for long enough. Deja Vu Academy finally close it out after a slight hiccup the first time they tried it.
And yeah, Mega Ball's just making sure he's being a gentleman and not finishing too soon. It's one of those! Go check out the post-game screen. Oh, I'm gonna get told off so early for this game. Okay, looks like it was all Azrael. Who could have thought it?
He did a lot of work. Autumn 24/7, putting out the damage. Credit, of course, over the Paper Tiger, who, or Paper Pirate. Not Paper Tiger. That would be
That's
a
the
little
joke
rude.
you made, yeah.
That would be a little rude. Instead, Paper Pirate playing pretty well there. Did a fairly good job about returning the damage from a difficult position. By the way, Deja Vu Academy turn around a pretty hefty early deficit. They were 6-2 down at one point in kills. 2 dragons down, a couple towers down. But eventually, Malphite Oriana with an Ezreal that picked up all the kills he could possibly want. Just too much to deal with.
That's pretty much the story of the game. Don't think you need me to repeat that. I really do want to commend Deja Vu for just realizing what their comp does and playing what their comp did. That's something which is the hallmark of a good team. You know, knowing what you can do in the draft phase, knowing what your strengths are as a 5-man unit, and knowing how you can play around the enemy team. As soon as he went towards the dragon, and then its mid lane out of turret really looked like they were in control of that game, and I can see why they're doing so well in this division.
They did exceptionally well. They've got one more game to go, though, to make sure they clean up this series. See whether Mega Balls and crew can finish this one up, or whether Tempest can come back into it, or have to go to a swift break. Go absolutely nowhere and ignore my Colorcaster's sniggering. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Valence League. But before we get any further, I believe Nymera has a statement he needs to read out.
We here at the Valence League have become aware of certain jokes and comments that were made in the previous game, and we want to make it very clear that this is not what the Valence League stands for or what we like to represent. The person who was responsible for those jokes no longer works for the Valence League. Wait, what?
Yeah, did not tell you yet. You're fired.
Oh, wait.
Get out. To solo cast now.
Mega balls to that!
Bullshit about that one. All right, well, we're back on a cast here, and I'm telling you now the jokes are continuing. But for now, we are here. It will be Deja Vu back on the blue side. Tempest still on the red side. And Nymera is here for the long haul. Balls on this man making all these jokes all the time. I tell you, he's going to get in trouble for this one day.
There's
but,
some gigantic cojones. Maybe that's his,
Maybe
that's his
what we
NA
can
cousin.
Maybe.
Grande cojones.
Well, I mean, maybe this is like vengeance, right? For
The
Balls.
team in
Because
Valence
look,
League. You know there's a team called Vengeance.
No, specifically because obviously Balls doesn't play on Cloud9 anymore.
Right,
And what's
gotcha.
similar to Clouds? Tempest. To contest the Tempest, Balls had to evolve into Mega Balls.
But then also Cloud9 divided by... So we've got 2 names already. And then we have the Mexican cousin, of course. So that's 3 names. And then Cloud9 divided by 3 is... 3.
Yes. How many sides are there on a triangle?
I think it's 3.
Yes. The Illuminati are confirmed.
Yeah, the pyramid.
And they are...
Division 3!
It's here! Division 3 is the Illuminati. We figured it out, guys.
Jesus.
And Mega Balls is leading it up.
That's why we thought Naldorette was a Smurf. It's actually just the Illuminati.
Alright, here we go. We've uncovered it. It's some bands coming out. Nothing super surprising. Hecarim away from Naldorette. And of course, it's Victor away from Van Offel, who's put a lot of time for that champion.
I have spent so much time thinking about all the puns I was going to make. I did not think about Champions League. Okay, yeah, Urgot, really important. It does so well into... I think Urgot is a sleeper OP pick. It does really well into pretty much every match should be thrown into. Sometimes something like Fiora can throw it off, but then you just gank that lane. It's not like you don't have ways to kill that guy either.
It's also Organized Crisis most played this split, or this year rather, in OB.GG. Put a lot of time into it. Probably about 50 more games than anything else next in the list. So clearly something likes to go towards. It's a bit more of a carry threat. Everything else is a bit more on the, generally speaking, the tankier options outside of something like the... He does play the Swain, I suppose, which is a bit stronger right now. Could be an option. Either way, we're going to see the Volibear hovered here, and it is locked in, followed by a very swift Aphelios.
I like that. Okay, so I like that if you don't see the Malphite Oriana again, because Aphelios needs people to run into him. Volibear is one of those champions. That's pretty much all he does as a champion. He runs into you. Aphelios loves to get his Conqueror with Severum or something like that, or trying to chain things off his abilities to stack up his Conqueror very early and turn around his damage with 2-3 items. So I don't mind this Aphelios pick. Knowing how Deja Vu played the last game, and with the Leona on top of that too, I don't mind it, but is it too early to lock this Aphelios because you're going to lock in something like the Oriana Malphite again?
Because while Aphelios likes people to run into him, he likes people to run into him while he's free to move.
Yeah.
If he has spent his time gazing at the sun, so to speak, it could be a serious problem. Oriana locked in as well, and this Aphelios better have his dancing shoes on.
Okay, what else could we see here? I would like to see maybe Hecarim top out. Oh, I mean, Hecarim, wait, someone else plays Hecarim. Naldi plays that. So, yeah, as I say, Hecarim would also be a takeaway, but I'd maybe like to see a ban first. Oh, yeah. Anyway, just so I'm so good at this stuff. Okay, right, Trundle locked in.
Okay.
I like that. Why do I like that? Trundle is good for soft engage and soft disengage. He blurs the roles between a lot of different kinds of archetypes and does well in tanks as well with ultimate. We know that Mega Balls on the Volibear last game and, of course, the Leona really, really tanky. If you have the Trundle to cut through that and Aphelios gets to just gun down that one target, he's going to be really good at that job. Better than the Ashe was last game. The Ashe was banned away from a potential pick from Autumn too.
Yeah, and of course, Trundle pretty damn good at shredding away things like Aftershock resist from that Leona, as well as things like the Eclipse Shield and resist can be kind of taken off if Trundle times that Subjugate Dam. Well, has to be done pretty well, but it's always an option. The rest of this, there was AD carry focus from Tempest here. On the other side, though, Veigar and Echo taken off the table.
So Caitlyn's gone, Ezreal's gone. And then, of course, the Ashe has gone too. What's the next on the cheer list? Is it going to be something like Xayah, Kai'Sa, something that was around last year, which people still have in their champion pools? Is it going to be a Jhin, which has come up as a bit more of a counter recently, and can do pretty well into the Aphelios too? It can do. It's a little bit awkward because he runs at you in that short range, and things don't go so well. Syndra locked in too. I like that. It's a little bit... So now you don't just have to rely on the Nautilus hook landing. You can have Pillar into stun, into hook. There's more options you have.
And it's less committal engages. Non-committal engages. Big. You can throw out the stun. If it doesn't land, who
Nice,
cares?
cool.
Yeah, like
Try to get
you're
in
still
10
fine.
seconds.
It's a bit risky if you're in a side lane by yourself because then you're free to engage on. But if you're in that 5v5 scenario, that's less of a problem. You can start fishing for things, right? Potential here, though, will be the Shen in for Lucas Bang Alter. Definitely something to put a lot of time into as well. It's my first macro champion, so to speak. I know that's how you like to phrase it. Just more defensiveness.
Baby's first global.
Yeah, and like just ways to make things even
Oh, we're gonna see
scarier.
it?
It would be a little bit of a bit of BM aimed at Tempest to see if they did pick it. I doubt it, but of course there's still a little bit of room, and they will lock in the Lucian that has been rising in priority in recent weeks. A lot of bot laners starting to pull it back out. Some legacy bot players pulling it back out, the likes of Double Lift, of Bang, going back to an old favorite in recent weeks and patches.
Add a lot of buffs on the recent patch. 10 more damage at each rank of the queue means that your wave clear is pretty nice in the early game. You get priority much easier. And of course, Lucian is all about those very well calculated 100-0 run you down kind of kill trades. I look at these team comps now. Look at the range on Deja Vu. Really low. Really low. You have the Orianna, that's nice, but you still have to funnel very, very hard into Aphelios. If you fail to catch him, then you're going to get disengaged by the Pillar, by the Ornn ult, by Aphelios just flashing away. Scout of the week. This is a pretty decent team comp looking at Tempest.
On the other side, though, Autumn had a damn good game last time out on the Ezreal. He's a Lucian with an Orianna and a Shen to back him up, especially with other people diving into it. It's not just him. So there is a world where he just gets to dive forward with impunity and try and shred through Aphelios and Syndra. But these guys aren't bad at people jumping at them. Syndra's stun is there. There's a Nautilus, that Trundle, of course, Ornn as well, can just knock you up as well. So, yes, Autumn can definitely do a lot of work here, but you've already mentioned that, actually, frankly, Tempest have some pretty good ways of dealing with people coming at them, or frankly, turning it straight back around by just throwing a depth charge and jumping on the Lucian themselves.
I wonder if this Aphelios gets a little bit too tricky. You actually shift the Lucian to a side lane when you go 1-3-1. I wonder if that's the play. Because Lucian has pretty decent matchups into pretty much everyone here. Ornn will get very tanky after a couple of items, so that won't be the easiest matchup ever.
One blade, I suppose, at that
But at
point.
least you have the Shen ult. Well, you go blade first and Lucian anyway. I don't really think that's an option.
Yeah.
It's really good AD, gives you an easier build path than most other items in the game. The thing which is a little bit more up for chance is whether you go for Black Cleaver second or into the Essence Reaver second.
What would you rather?
So Orianna, overwhelming AP, Volibear is mixed and doesn't have high damage from the jungle. Cinderhulk also goes at magic damage. Shen's Q is magic damage, although it does a fair decent amount of AD, and Leona is mainly AP. So if you go for Black Cleaver, you're only building it for yourself. The extra mobility and HP is nice. It helps you kite out stuff like the Trundle, helps you in terms of kill pressure against the Syndra if she's trying to 100-0 you. I think you kind of need to go for the Essence Reaver for the burst, so you try and 100-0 the Aphelios before, as we said, they turn around and delete your short-range team.
Okay, so wanting the Essence Reaver, maybe the Black Cleaver, all the same. You know how people
If you're really far ahead, you could go for Black Cleaver, maybe.
Yeah,
but I think
and
the
I
Essence Reaver is
and
genuinely better in this game.
And it's best for you. Volibear and Shen can use it. It's just not particularly efficient. So there is a world where you need it. Or frankly, you're just saying, I need the extra HP to survive Syndra. Is the other world that becomes.
Also, remember last game, Mega Balls went for Deadman's Plate. Not even something like... No. He went for Stone Plate. Not even the Deadman's Plate, right?
Yeah.
It was very low damage, but that was okay because the damage is coming from the Orianna. And Ori, if you get a Shockwave onto the backline, is still going to be very impactful this game. It's just... Ori doesn't get her backline access through her own play. She gets it through the play of her teammates, and that's what we're going to have to see from the Shen and Volibear.
I mean, there's
And
a world with
Leona.
Leona as well. Like, there
Yeah,
are
sure.
a lot
Those
of-
three, yeah.
There
you know.
are a lot of ways to get that ball into play.
But I also remember last game we saw we didn't see a single Malfari combo.
No.
They were always separated.
No, yeah,
so
we didn't see a single Malfoy combo. Never saw the Orianna ball played with on top of the Malphite, which was just the way that one ended up worked out.
So I'm worried about the coordination.
Yeah, no, so that's fair.
I'm not, because obviously, look, this is the Valence League, guys. It's not the sterling pinnacle of play, which means that you can look for opportunities because people have not warded correctly. You can blank. People are slightly more ahead or behind because of laning phase or certain skirmishes. It's goal shot
Someone's in the wrong
accuracy,
point in the-
position accuracy, right?
Up the river by yourself, rest of your team's in your jungle. Whoops, never mind.
Yep, yep. Mega Balls Creek without a paddle.
Yeah, that's the one. Not necessarily the reference to a particular creek I was expecting. Perhaps there's a few creeks you don't want
Oh,
to go
many
with
creeks.
paddle.
You know, no, creeks are just very, very
They're
high
dangerous
risk.
places.
Yeah. Don't go to creeks, guys.
Don't go to-
So don't do Krugs, don't go up creeks.
Do you find Krugs up creeks?
Oh, no, I don't go looking for them. Where are the Krugs? I don't know. I haven't looked at them.
I'm a jungler. I'm addicted to Krugs.
Oh,
It's
shit. Get out of here. Leave.
a
Go
great-
cleanse
it's
yourself.
great experience.
Go to Krugs Anonymous.
Like I need the experience, man. The life
That's what they say,
experience.
Sam. You know, they got yeah.
And the gold I get from giving them off to other people is really great.
League of Legends is so trippy.
Alrighty then. So we are into the loading screen here as well. And, kind of got to see where these particular comps are at. Again, it's relatively 5v5 focus. We've got a little bit more global pressure from the side of Deja Vu Academy just by virtue of running a Shen. But it's quite good disengaged stuff from the side of
Tempest, yeah. Yeah, no, I think that having the phase rush, particularly in Syndra, is pretty similar. It's pretty regular, but it is also very useful this game.
All right, well, we're going to cut straight to a video. We'll be right back after that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for game 2 of Deja Vu Academy versus Tempest. It was a win for Deja Vu Academy. Kind of expected looking at the standings, but Tempest made them work for it after a pretty good early game and a good Nexus defense, frankly, when like it was all over. Still got to see more out of this Tempest squad that they really want to contest. We just need to see better farm numbers. We need to see better mid-game team fights.
So what you're saying is early advantages. Does a level 1 sound like that?
Might well be. Mega Ball's going for his early ward. Instead, a Nautilus gets a hook straight onto Van Offel. That is a flash straight out. The Ignite is now burned by the flash in Finale Direct, who does get first blood. But over to the Nautilus, because it's the Ignite that picks it up. A couple flashes burned across the board. One Finale Direct, but one, of course, for Van Offel and for Mega Balls as well.
Handful of assists across the board, and no flash onto the mid-jungle duo of Deja Vu Academy. When you do have a mid-jungle duo with the amount of CC that Syndra, and of course the Pillar coming out of Trundle is as well, that a mobile Orianna will have to play very, very close to her tower in the opening couple of minutes, might signal how these junglers want to play in the early game now that the priority will be over to that Trundle.
Level 1 fight goes the way of Tempest. Never mind, Time Crisis, we've moved on to a different particular arcade cabin. This one looks a little bit more like Street Fighter, or at least River Fighter, because that's where we ended up with the first blood coming out. It will be topside starts for both junglers, but remember that Volibear has no flash and could be punished if he goes too hard on any ganks or gets caught in an invade.
Absolutely. Also worth noting that anyone who had a precision tree room would have got any of those stacking legends.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think Trundle would have got the tenacity off of that. We'll get trades by Shen. Does pretty well in those tank trades as well.
Yeah, Shen does more damage than you think he does a lot of the times, and Grasp as well means you do get those really nice early short trades, and let's go for something like Titanic. First start of Shen isn't actually all that awful.
Oh, Shen does decent damage, particularly in a 1v1. It's why he works as a split pusher. I remember seeing a number of pro games where a Jace would fall behind a Shen, and I mean, trades like this would happen.
Great edge of the range support. Now Organized Crisis does manage to get under the turret. That's all pots gone, and stuck under turret very early on. Hook goes wide there for the Nautilus, dredging up nothing but grass.
Just making the river a bit deeper, you know, just getting rid of some of the silt.
What is the river on Summer's Rift called? It's the Ganges.
Okay, River Gamgees, talked about that last game. Basically, you know the game Taboo, we have to guess a word? Well, it was a family story where someone just randomly said River Gamgees, and it was right.
Because it's never the River Ganges.
It's never the River Gamgees until it is. You may as well just try it. It's really hard to explain.
Okay, so that's a dredge line that does land, and now we're seeing Paper Pirates step forward with the onslaught running. But only a little bit of damage this far out, of course, with the aftershock proc for Leona. And it survives that engage with little harm done. Crisis, though, is still stuck on a tower, still stuck at just about, or just over a third HP, but now going for engage himself. That's a good brittle proc, but remember, also with that level up there, a little bit happier, despite the good trade for.
And Grass proc too gives you that extra HP, and in the short to middle length trades can come out very, very hard. So Camille go for it for that kind of reason too. Like to dive in, use your passive shield, and then, well, I mean, she's not in this game, but still, there are play patterns which can allow for that, and Shen with the W dodge field too often becomes quite relevant.
And Awful has to be very careful here. Does take a big trade to the face, and now with Trundle here, will fall down for a second kill over to the side of Tempest, who just got her on a pushing too far up without safety.
What did we say? Got to keep it close here on turret. Doesn't manage to right then, and the mid jungle duo of Tempest punish accordingly. Second kill participation of the game over to both members of the mid jungle 2v2. They're feeling very happy about life.
They definitely are happy as a clan, but now we might see a turnaround because there is the teleport straight back in, but with Ornn roaming down first, I think that will mean Scuttletrap is swiftly secured for the Trundle, and Volibear will have to back away.
Back away, and again, a lot of that is just due to priority from the early game off of, we saw that level 1, the Summoner's Blown, and then the death which came of that in that lane. It's a little bit awkward.
Definitely is. Syndra here though, very low mana. Has not backed yet, only got the Doran's Ring in inventory and may need to back just frankly for...
Oh, it has the teleport. I mean, we saw the teleport just blown by Ori. You use it now, it's not going to be a massive desync. Raising this up lane, oh, Shen, so much damage.
There's no Organized Crisis. Be a bit afraid. There is the Searing Charge, but it has to be followed up by the Flash because Shen would just run him down otherwise.
Hey,
Dredgeline lands, and that will be trouble for Jazz. And one of these days you might get to speak, of course, Balance League, and so hard engages happen all the time. And here comes a thundering smash from Mega Balls. The sky is split, and Visera has to flash out, but now Trundle around the back. That's a great heal to keep the Nautilus alive, and they get to back out.
Okay, great economy of summoners there, making sure they get the maximum value out of absolutely everything. Even though it looked like a sure kill onto the Nautilus, Visera makes it out alive.
Does mean that Naladir had to pull off the dragon that they were starting up there. So that will prevent that from going down. And
would have been nice to get.
Would have been really nice to get. And it means that actually what it means is that the Volibear gets pressure, well, at least faster clear in the jungle, stops off the dragon as well. So just a straight advantage now for the Volibear, at least for now.
So we have a relatively early, relatively small gold lead. I guess it's 6 minutes in, it's 400 gold. That's nice. But when you have 2 kills, you expect, okay, so first goal is 400, every kill after that's 300, now 700, you hand a couple of assists over, that's an extra 300 in itself. So you're expecting 900 to 1,000 gold lead if everything's assisted. It's slightly less than that, when we know that's a lot of that's coming from the top lane. And the jungle, the CS, which is led from there, means that Deja Vu Academy, their laning phase is propping them up, and will it prop them up to the point where they can?
Max range taunt.
It's
Man, don't miss.
Yeah, it doesn't miss, and you don't miss CS either, whereas Organized Crisis definitely is. That CS lead is becoming a real big issue. We know that Deja Vu Academy, in the last game, survived through to a point where they could team fight, and then they just ran away with the game. Admittedly, we think that the comp was much better for 5v5ing at that point, whereas in this game, we have some questions about it, but if they're coming in with a lead on their Shen, who can be very tanky, and of course, as we see, do a lot of damage to the one person he needs to, namely the Aphelios in team fights, this might end up being a big point to play around in this game.
Could well be, but that will be first dragon over the Trundle on the second attempt. Now we've got to see whether Organized Crisis, who has hit level 6, can just frankly survive.
Oh, stop taunting, dude.
He
He deserves it. He deserves it. He's got the CS lead. He can do it.
And a little bit of BM coming out there. Taunt from the Taunt Master himself. Dredgeline not particularly close, that one. Jazzo quite happy with that, how that goes, but honestly, there's Lucian or Leona, which we kind of wondered whether it wanted to play a little bit more aggressively. Big shot at the tower now.
I think a lot of that, well, I'm trying to think where that came from, really. I think a lot of it's just from how it came in terms of the gank, which came to bot lane, and the early pressure from the Trundle, knowing that, of course, the Volibear was not going to be playing on the map too early because of losing that flash against Trundle, who had that early first blood. Well, no, of course, that went out to the Nautilus. It's just a lot harder to play around it when you know that your mid jungle is behind in the matchup.
Oh, but even then, you've got the summoner advantage right now. You've got the heal down for the Aphelios. You've got flash down for Visera. But here comes the call of Forge Guard that's knocked up, not a huge amount of damage, but now this will be second Brittle Block that is thrown out. The shield comes up from Shen, taunting away, but Pillar comes down. Will there be a flash out? The stun is good, but here comes Mega Ball to try and turn things around, and they will back away. Flash out from Lucas Bang.
Very lucky that there was no mana for the Syndra ult, because that could have been the kill combo onto the Shen. Either way, it will be a lot of, well, the ultimate from Ornn traded for the flash of the Shen, who was, of course, in such ascendancy at that point, will be well, okay. Oh, it's the submarine.
Oh, here comes the submarine. Grandmaster Xeno taunted and thrown to the ground there. Straight turnaround, took too long to clear out the wave, had no mana, didn't feel comfortable stepping up, and suddenly a Thundering Smash plus a Stand United turns everything around. Great play out of Deja Vu Academy.
Okay, I do want to just clarify. It's not a submarine because he's not invisible, but
Yeah,
still,
it's not the Evelyn combo.
Yeah, it's not the Evelyn Twitch combo. Either way, he comes in the speedboat, followed by going that quickly, skimming
Zoom.
across the zoomies coming in, and yeah, it's really good there as well. I mean, you don't even need to use the teleport to get back to lane. Use the shorter cooldown of the Stand United to get back in, get yourself a kill too, and continue on as you were.
Dredgeline just going wide, but now Organized Crisis finds Shen one more time. I feel like this has been happening quite a lot. Flash in to make sure that Thundering Smash lands. Matters not. Goes down as Autumn picks up another kill, culling the weak with Visera down out there. It might not be Renekton, but the culling all the same.
Oh, so much damage. Oh, big trade in the mid lane. Remember, there is that ultimate which wasn't used top lane, now available in the mid lane. And yeah, you're right, there are kills across the map. First one of the game for the Lucian comes right after the second of the game for the Shen. Worth noting, he didn't build himself a Tiamat, went for the Jorum's Fist as well. But Autumn back there has to deal with a gank from the Trundle.
Right, Severum, Onslaught comes out. Jazza trying to turn it around on the Trundle. Buy time for this Lucian to escape, but it might be at the cost of his own life. And Paper Pirate will pick up that kill. The Moonlight Vigil missed onto Lucian, which may have given a little bit of damage. Alas, is it used? Flash heal out of that particular player. Paper Pirate had to burn the heal again early on, and that will be a 1-for-1 overall after all things are done in that bot lane.
All things done, and you know, we're talking about slight gold leads, slight gold deficits. The lead has shifted over to Deja Vu Academy after their players have evened up that, of course, that early 2-kill deficit up to 3 and all. After, of course, Oriana. And, yeah. Plate's going now down to the bot lane of the Aphelios and Lotus. And make no mistake, Aphelios is still in a competition where things can go very, very well from this game. You can have that Leona, Volibear, Shen running after him. Now the Tiamat hasn't been built on the Shen, by the way. Recalled for that soon after that second kill came in. We'll be doing a lot of damage early into this game.
Zera find a way out of this, but has taken a Solar Flare, and Paper Pirate has recalled. No room for a Dredgeline because Jazza is blocking the way out. Shield of Daybreak stuns again into a Zenith Blade. And
Close.
The walls are going down, but they're not enough for Mega Balls. Doesn't get the kill, and Visera just gets to walk out. Flash is blurred, but that's about it.
He'll have to reset. It means that he won't be around to secure any kind of vision control for the Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. However, with a low health Leona as well, maybe they will want to reset. There's a teleport coming in from Shen now.
Right, Shen is here, and that means the river is Deja Vu Academy's. Jazza, not exactly high health here. They're in the full mana bar.
No, I was about to say, he needs to reset, really.
Yeah, could well be. I mean, it's now 20 seconds till Mounted Drake will not be back in time if he did want to reset, and that's problematic.
So Shen has the Tiamat, does have Taunt, no low flash available. But remember, there's a Shockwave.
That doesn't come out as yet. They're looking to get mid prio. Cast your eyes into that top lane as well, and Shen's actually managed to acquire 2 of those plates thus far as well. So Lucas Bangolta having a fantastic game thus far. But
4,000
now
gold lead.
we have got Mountain Drake up, and Mega Ball comes in with a storm. Bringer going deep, balls deep, and gets a kill on the ground, Mr. Xeno. Now the stopwatch coming out, Jazza very low, so is Lucas Bang Alter. The Nautilus trying to get out, but will fall down. It is, however, 2 traded back. It is even now, and Van Offel caught in a bad position. Paper Pirate roots the Lucian in place. Autumn 24/7 has got a brittle proc and takes a clap to the face. The Shen ult coming through, but it's too late, and that actually will be a victory to Tempest, who turn it around after a bush bait goes wrong.
Imagine how badly that should have gone if Aphelios was a little bit closer to the fight. That would not have been nearly as even as it would have been. You can see Lucian cannot kill the front line quick enough at this point. Is going for the Essence Reaver first. Has a fair amount of crit and CDR, but even that is not even completed yet. Whereas Aphelios doesn't even need the full completed item. Comes in with the Moonlight Vigil, and the Trundle and Ornn chase down the fleeing members of Deja Vu Academy.
Oh man, Mega Balls in the bush wasn't enough.
But yeah, gotta cut that one down.
Cut that one
Easier
down,
to see.
Yeah. Well, it didn't matter even if he wasn't seen. Did go down in the end, or at least
the rest of his team was pretty shafted.
they were at that point. Took more balls from Grand Assassino than they could stand, and unleashed power was just a bit much. Solar Flare comes out though, and maybe I spoke a little too soon. There is a flash that can be used, but it's just not going to come out in time. Does fall down. Unleashed power was used, but Autumn 24/7 doesn't care and gets a second kill.
And Syndra blows the load but can't kill. Lucian dodges out on one of the Dark Spheres with the Relentless Pew. Does pretty good. Don't touch me. He just elbows me
I
in the
was
side.
stretching. I've been sat this pair a while.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, Autumn managing to dodge out on what was a pretty decent combo out of Grandmaster Zeno in the turnaround, but now sat at 0-3, not feeling happy about life.
No, not really. Struggling a little bit there. Both mid laners had a bit of an awkward game. At least now Orianna managed to go from 0-2-0 to 1-2-1 to a little bit more serviceable. But Syndra struggling a little bit in this one as well at this point. Trundle, though, at 3-0-3, having a very strong game. And the Cephalios now at 2-0-2, Infinity Edge complete. It's mirroring the Essence Lever that has come in for Lucian kind of after.
Okay, so if Lucian goes for Essence Reaver, i.e. Storm Razor, and gets like that huge AD crit build, he is going to burst out the Aphelios really hard. And we were saying, oh, do you want to go Black Cleaver second after a Black Blood of the Rune King? Well, okay. I don't know if that's a... You just pop...
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Subjugate burn.
nice. Cool.
That is just before the Rift Herald will spawn in about 25 seconds as well. So not a fantastic use of the Subjugate there, I have to confess. And Lucas Bang also just got to walk away after a couple of autos. And my color caster is frowning.
No, there are two things I'm frowning at. One is, okay, cool, you use Subjugate. The other is, you know we were talking about Aphelios going for Essence Reaver because of that Caulfields and inventory.
Oh,
Let me direct you down
to...
to... Thank you for Janexus in chat, because I hadn't quite realized that. I was like, oh yeah, first time's completed. They're on the same kind of thing. Looked over to gold. There is a 500 gold lead for Aphelios. You think, okay, cool, probably going to complete these. Okay, whatever, fight.
Right, well, Naladara is now in trouble. Has to flash away, exhausted down, and gets caught by a fabulous Solar Flare. Gets shut down. But Organized Crisis finds a call of the Forge, but no one else is here. He's being run down, chased down by the rest of Deja Vu Academy. And I've been in this place before for Organized Crisis. Caught out alone in the river with the rest of the team just not there.
Call of Forge God comes in way too late to try and save the Trundle. What that means is the second Herald will almost certainly be going the way of Deja Vu Academy, unless... Okay, Call of Forge... no, Call of Forge God. The Moonlight Visual comes out.
Alright, well, they're not giving up quite yet. Paper Pirate wants to punish, find something out of this.
Oh.
Shockwave lands on the two carries, though, a Mega Balls is in with Lucas. Bang, Alter on as well. It is a shut down and a shut out as Lucian picks up the kills after they get slapped by Mega Balls.
Goodness gracious, great Mega Balls of Fire. The Shockwave into the Volibear ultimate finishes off the grouped members of the Tempest, and the Storm came for them. The Tempest is no more, at least for that Herald fight.
It's hit that 15-minute mark, Nymera, and the early leads have gone, the early plays have gone, and these objective fights have gone wrong.
I've realized there are so many balls in this game.
There
There's
are.
Syndra and Orianna, and then Mega Ball.
I know.
Who is also a Storm champion in front of Tempest.
I know.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
And we've already made the balls Cloud9, Mega Balls,
Yep.
Tempest, connection, like, it's all there.
Oh, good.
Like, this just
Glad we're on
goes
the
so
same
deep,
page.
guys.
We already said Mega Ball's deep. Okay, can't say the one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right, well, we did it
Okay.
anyway. Not a
You
regular
could have just
secure
figured it, we could have moved on. But no.
Mega Balls. Yeah, cool. Right, nice.
dear.
We have ourselves a Lucian with 5 kills. He's going towards a Zeolite next, and he's probably going to get killed to this guy because he has no flash right now. Couple of seconds off.
Jazza is just standing in front of Organized Crisis, and the only organization here I see is whoever wrote the wills down, because they're going to have to do quite a lot. Autumn 24/7 is unstoppable. Syndra roamed down to try and save the life of Bjorn, but it was too little too late, and Lucas Bang Alter on the other side will get hooked up and thrown into a pretty dangerous spot, but of course did have the Spirit's Refuge, which is just pretty good versus the likes of Aphelios.
You know one thing I saw there, which I hadn't realized the entire game right now, is Conquer Lucian. I actually hadn't realized that. So when you're chaining together each of your passive autos into your abilities, you do stack that up pretty well. Shen, buddy, I'm not Sure you want to take that fight?
Oh, he's going to try and find his way out. The taunt goes wide, but Spirit's Refuge is a thing. Takes a Binding Eclipse for his troubles, but all the while, Mega Balls along with the Oriana Ball secure Dragon. Maybe they take the Dragon Ball. That's what they did. They secure the Dragon Balls. Someone find Vegeta and find out whether Deja Vu Academy's power levels are over 9,000.
I am going to throw this out there. Vegeta was a far better father, even as a genocidal space prince, than Goku.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Gohan was in a very sad space.
Yeah, Gohan had to live his life without knowing who Goku was because he just wanted to fight people.
Damn it, Goku.
Why are you like this? Vegeta was the better character, for certain.
Yeah, I agree. I did there's a really cool, like, virtual reality theme park in Shinjuku.
Oh, yeah.
So I went there once when I was in
Right.
and they did a Dragon Ball VR experience. You get, like, kitted out in that amazing VR kit. So I learned to do the Kamehameha, and Vegeta taught me in VR.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I beat 4 other people. But with my amazing Kamehameha skills.
That's the only thing you'll ever beat at anyone at
Including my girlfriend.
You had a girlfriend when you were in Japan?
I
You
did.
didn't tell me
I
about
did.
So you
You
didn't
knew all
tell
this. You
No,
just
no, no,
forgot.
no, no. This is actually news to me. I didn't even
Oh,
know
yeah,
you had a
okay,
girlfriend
fun.
when you were in Japan.
Shocking.
Okay, well, today
how
we've
much-
all
so much-
learned a lot of things about Initialize.
You just... My brother doesn't pay attention to me,
No,
guys.
I know,
He's too busy
Maybe you just
simping
don't-
for League of Legends.
He just
and
doesn't,
Mega
he
Balls.
doesn't know. He doesn't want anyone to know he's romantically connected with to know I exist. He was not existing as a Felios.
Alright, they're flashing it with the culling. It's not quite enough, and Paper Pirate survives, but has to burn the flash. Their Auto 24/7 also burned it, but clearly needed more training for Vegeta to try and find the victory there.
Did you know Kamehameha means turtle destruction wave?
I knew Kame meant turtle. I
Yep.
did not know the rest.
Kamehameha. Yeah, it's turtle destruction wave, as far as I'm aware. Because he went to the turtle gym thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what Remember Master Roshi is a turtle jump? All turtle stuff.
Okay. Alright, well, Jazza gets stunned in place, but gets to walk out after being stunned went just wide.
There is a stone player on the Leona. Very tanky.
Yes, and Aphelios is a long way off being able to deal with that. Would like another couple items for sure, and it's kind of a waiting game now for Tempest. They need to survive till there's a few items on some of their carries if they want to win this one out, or hope for the best subjugate of all time and enough free time for one.
That would be the idea, but with Lucian being really far ahead with the 2 crit items, this is really high damage, and only a Spirit Visage. Ooh, fights are dangerous.
Look where Lucas is, and Mega Ball's gone deep as well, and now they're getting turned around. Shutdown, though, does go on to Autumn, who's gone very, very deep. Jazza burning out, Stone Plate's ended, and Paper Pirate wants this so badly. Can't quite get there, the flash in, but that is a dissonance. But there is the charge from Ornn, which will mean that Paper Pirate secures another, and now Van Offel has to run away, but that was the fight that Tempest might require. They're moving on to Baron, and there's no one around to stop them.
Hooray! The Aphelios composition did the Aphelios thing!
Hooray!
He lives, he kills the Lucian who dives too deep when the Lucian is dead because you don't have anything to protect yourself or anything like a Phantom Dance or even the higher burst which might kill off the person before they can turn around. It means that the Aphelios comes online even after selling that Caulfield earlier, just does what the champion does, and it means the team takes a Baron.
They dive between 2 towers, and Mega Balls got busted, frankly. They went far too deep, and they, it cost them a Baron and 3 kills.
It always hurts to have your Mega Balls bust.
Yes.
Cool. Right, even with the stone plate now in inventory, things are going to start getting really awkward.
You left that so elegantly, and you just had to come back and bring it
Yep.
right back again.
That's the one.
All right. Well, Lucas Bang also will try and trade back for their egregious overdive in the mid lane by going for this tier 1 on the bot side. A little bit afraid, or as I say that, I look at the mini map and realize no one's actually coming to punish him.
No, not right now. Okay, so resetting with that Baron still only evens up the gold, doesn't give them any kind of advantage. What's going to happen the next time these 2 teams meet them? Ball's running with that Q, using the DS from human speed. Nothing really coming out of that. Syndra going up to the top lane, has teleport. Ornn in the bot lane also has teleport. 1-3-1 we said might come out of Deja Vu Academy if things were to get a little bit awkward because of the strength of their Lucian. Has been actually instead set up by Tempest.
Gold is now back. It's even pretty much. It's about a 300 gold lead the way of Deja Vu Academy, but Baron buff has done a lot to alleviate the monetary discrepancy that was in there in favor of Deja Vu. The shove kind of continues. It's a 1-3-1. Syndra up versus that Oriana on the top side. Ornn versus Shen in the bots. And now we've got, of course, the 3-man stack in mid lane.
Ooh.
Cannon just doing its best to slowly whittle away at this tower. Boo, indeed.
Ooh.
Quite a satisfying sound effect.
It's like Aurelian Soldier.
Does he actually say that?
Yeah, he says it if you hit someone with the start every so often.
That's
It's the best one of my favorite
love
voice lines of the game.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, new wave has come in. Shen does get out mid lane turret cracked now, and that will allow for easier wave control when they're trying to shove in. I'm not sure how much is left of Baron, but you can see that Tempest don't want to shove quite so much. They want to be around to contest and take up the air Drake.
Okay, and speaking of the air Drake, that Cloud Dragon.
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet. Okay.
Squad is coming out, trying to knock people up, but Jazza coming around, Sky Splitter coming out as well. And that will be a very dead organized crisis, but he will trade his life dearly because the Cloud Drake went out, and that will be free time for Syndra at the top.
And organized crime commits the most organized crisis commits the most organized of crimes, which is over pushing when the rest of your team. Oh, it's not very organized. It's very disorganized. Anyway, he commits the crime of pushing in the bot lane and is sent to
too much bureaucracy. Too much organization.
It's like, oh wow, organized crisis, organized crime. Make a joke about that. Completely flip it. Anyway, Ornn's dead. Cool, nice. Get on.
Van Offel might be in a spot of bother here. That will be the Stand United now, Burn, but Lucas Bangalter is in and gets a taunt onto Paper Pirate, and he is shredded. Take that for bureaucracy. Now, Naladira in the backside, but it's a 1 versus 4. He's sure to fall as well, and that will be a double over to Autumn 24/7. Ouch.
Why was he there? You're the one person who needs to live on your team comp. Aphelios gets... He doesn't even need to be a Flash Zenith play. It doesn't even need to be a solo flare. He is just in range of the Leona, then he just... The team is behind him, not in front of him. He gets completely shredded, and we know that Aphelios wants people to run into him. Not when you're right in front of their team with no one in front of you, though.
Well, now organized crisis there to ensure the people who aren't supposed to be shredded don't get shredded. The most important paper they own found its way into the dumpster fairly swiftly, and Aphelios found himself very...
Is it the paper for a death certificate?
Yes. Well, he found a death certificate, sure. It was more the insurance papers they wish they had at that point. Either way, we're now looking at Cloud Soul point at least, but we kind of know that one to be one of the weaker souls, even if it is.
I think in this game it's pretty okay. I think in this game, actually, I think it's good. It's great for Trundle, also Aphelios. Aphelios can start off a fight with the Midnight Vigil, and if he gets that extra 30% movement speed, when he gets that, he can maybe outrun someone like a Shen who's trying to get in range to taunt him. Maybe survive get out the way of a Solar Flare, because obviously the center of it is the stun. He can get towards the slow or out of the slow into the free zone. And then Aphelios can start kiting around and start running people down. I remember a very good game between, I believe it was something like DRX and T1 over in the LCK, where Aphelios just pops ult and runs down the two enemy backliners because he's that fast.
Okay, time to see whether that's the way it plays out, and of course Cloud Soul is not secured as yet, and always off that being a potential threat, namely 2 minutes 30. Baron will be up before that though in just over a minute.
Time.
Is it?
2:30.
2:30, yeah, indeed. I was kind of glad I had, but now you put it back. Oh.
I have the best humor.
When was William Tell?
Who's William Tell?
He was the guy who wrote the William Tell's Overture.
I
10.
was supposed to say that's Cowboy time.
10.
Cool.
That's what
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. Well, I learned something today. Chat, I hope you learned something too.
So 2:30 then. Cowboy time is 10 to 10.
Ah, lovely. Cool. Which I mean, there's maybe if we get if we get Lucian at 10-2 and 10. 10 to 10.
Yeah, he needs to get to 10 to 10 though.
I mean, he's 8-2 and 5.
He's
It's
not
not
so
too far
far
off,
off,
actually.
yeah.
Just don't die again. Get some extra kills and stuff. Sounds alright.
Bangalter getting knocked up under tower, and actually he has to back away before trying to get that tower. He's like hoping to be able to greed for it, and instead, very tough health bar for not a lot.
Yeah, it's just saying I don't even need to take this turret. I'll wait another wave. Right? It's a sign of dominance.
Got banged.
Missed the cannon. Yeah, that's cool.
Haven't you got like a command in your stream now?
I do. If you put exclamation, I mean, I do stream for one.
He does.
Come watch me sometime.
Yeah,
I gotta plug myself. Just like I could plug gamersapparel.co.uk/store/.
No, who would do that?
I mean, I wouldn't do that live on stream
No.
in the middle of a very important game. I wouldn't
No.
do that. But
No.
if
No.
I wanted to either plug my stream, which is /no with an underscore after it,
Underscore after, it's very important.
Yeah, and I never post about that in the server. But if I wanted to do that or buy apparel, I would do either of those things. But of course, I wouldn't, because I am a good, upstanding person in this community.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would never expect either. Very upstanding and precious cats who make neither inappropriate name puns or inappropriate plugs.
That would require some mega balls to do that. I'm just not courageous enough.
No. Byron Villa is there.
Oh!
Like that, he comes in as I speak, and the devil, Lucas Bang Alter, appears. The Shen stand united coming through. Shockwave out as well, but it's onto 2 of the tankier members, and they do get to walk away. Teleport is burned, but that was a lot, but not a huge amount of game there. Health bar is still pretty high on the side of Tempest right now.
And with 20 seconds left on the Dragon, which of course would be that Cloud Soul Dragon for Tempest, this is actually a relevant point to bring up. I mean, it's always relevant.
Down.
All of the ults down. You don't have the stand united on Shen either. He wants to recall and maybe teleport back in, but can Tempest get control of this area? Looks like they can. They're just walking into River.
Really key ultimates are still up for Team Tempest, namely Call of the
Forge
Forge
God.
God, and of course the unleashed power for this Syndra, who has got death cap at this point as well. So definitely a world where she blows someone at 100-0, especially if Van Offel is kept at half HP. Needs to be very aware of what that Syndra could do.
I don't know whether they're going to look for a contest here. Looks like they are. Shen's on the flank.
All right, Call of the Forge God not coming out. They're just trying to buy time, keep this volley bear away. It goes down. That is Cloud Soul to Team Tempest, and now they need to try and either find the fight or disengage. Zenith Blade comes out, and they look like they're going to be forced to fight. Shockwave comes out onto Organized Crisis, but now Paper, Pirate, and Ella Direct trying to find something. Culling out of Autumn 24/7, but no deaths. Flash is burned. And Cloud Soul goes the way of Team Tempest.
Kind of awkwardly fought from Deja Vu Academy there. They fail the engage in mid lane, and they don't have the tools to really stick it to the team of Tempest when they're on the objective, where it's much easier to engage on them, rather than just when you're split down the mid lane. So, we have Cloud Soul now for Tempest. We said, can be very important for Fellows, managing to kite out an extra couple of the ultimates coming out of this Deja Vu squad. Also have Ornn items coming in. Already had a Molten Edge for that fight for Paper Pirate. Next level, we're going to have a Rabadon's Death Crown for Grandmaster Xeno 2. Gonna have to very much look out for that. I very much like this from him too. Knowing that there are some very important fights coming up. There is a Sorcerer's Elixir in the inventory of this Syndra. It's a very gold efficient, I think it's 2,100 gold of stats, ready to be popped and put into the stat line of Grandmaster Xeno.
It was not that much chance of a steal, frankly, either for Deja Vu Academy. Mega Balls was running on empty. He had burnt the ultimate. Flash was burned trying to get closer, but there wasn't really enough there. Saw a slight smoke from my color cast.
I hate it when my Mega Balls are running empty.
Yeah, I know. We all do. He certainly did that last one. It did mean that Cloud Soul went the way of Team Tempest, and let us get away with so much. Either way, we're going to see a shove in. Lucas Bang Alter went for a bit of a split push. Has got Wit's End Titanic Hydra as his build. Knows what he wants to do in this game. And to some success, but it's going to be a lot harder at this point.
Unlike Mega Balls, you want some of that splash damage from the Titanic Hydra. I'm so sorry, my parents just did not expect me to grow up this way. Anyway, we're going to Baron being started. The big purple worm being started.
Alright, well, we're going to see some Mega Balls going back in here. Solar Flare as well, he gets knocked up. That's a bit unusual for someone with balls to be saying, but either way, goes down. It is a 2-for-1 thus far. Baron Light, but now Autumn 24/7. Can't find the kill onto Vizera because he's gone too low. Shut down. Now for the Lucian. Onto the Lucian, I apologize. And now Jazza caught in a bad space. Grandmaster Xeno survived, and it is a 4-for-1 in favor of Team Tempest.
Okay, not quite the clean ace. Paper Pirate goes down to Deja Vu, and yeah, Baron's gonna go with it. Lucas is here, and the village is looking at him. What can he do? Show your village anything, Shen. He's showing them how to run away from the Forge God.
Akali would be disappointed. This is why Zed left. Yeah, this is why. All right. They have to back away from the Baron though, because they just don't have the damage without a Felios, which
and I'm also gonna.
It's a pretty big problem.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Really not a fan of Lucian's build at this point. I get you want to cut through the front line, but it's going to be a Felios who is the be-all and end-all of these team fights. Got Lord Dom's Regard. That's okay. It's nice. There is a lot of armor on Organized Crisis stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't have an Infinity Edge. You're going for a Black Cleaver, not Black Cleaver, the Death Stance to the 4th item. Where's your Infinity Edge? Where is your heavy crit damage coming out of? Especially when you've got 2 crit items already. You really need the Infinity Edge to tie together that kind of build.
Well, hashtag simp for Lucas. He's still the only one who died in this game right now. And chat, I don't know what you're talking about when you're throwing that hashtag around, because right now that village is starving.
Oh, hey, right. I don't know, man. Everything no, I can't say that.
Okay.
I'll say that one. Okay, many things I can't say. What I can say is we have a game of League of Legends. Welcome to the
Wow.
Dance League. It's Division 3.
Your most poignant comment thus far. This is certainly a game of League of Legends that I have cast.
Of
Aphelios.
all the games of League of Legends I have cast, this is one of them.
All right, so vision control being fought over right now. You can see Deja Vu Academy kind of feeling a little bit lost. You can see the Orianna going for Void Stab second, hasn't completed the Death Gap, but it just felt like
I just
they need
realized
that
the
pressure
Baron
right
wasn't taken yet.
now. Yeah, I did tell you.
I'm sorry, I'm just too busy. Well, I figured all the things I can't say.
Too
some of the
easy,
ones
too
which
easy.
I have.
All right, Lucas Bang Alter is in a Spirit's Refuge. Now getting bonked by Nardai. Go to League of Legends jail. And there's a Sentinel turret there as well to provide some guarding for said prison. And now the far side Ultra comes out and Tempest.
Yeah, just
feeling
going
like they're
into
in
the
a
river,
great
just
space.
showing them, just giving them just the top.
Just the top laner, yeah. Just getting clubbed in the face. Pretty rough, really. Now Trundle is he's gone. He's gone. All right. They're still trying to fight over vision control in this river, and they're kind of hanging around in this blue buff pit, just desperate to find vision, any entrance to this river, because it's being denied right now.
Oh, God.
Mega Balls has got ultimate backup, so there's a way that the Stormbringer and the Flash gets him in. Byron, you're a dick for coming up with a name like that I have to cast.
No,
Or
it's
release balls, indeed, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He's one of our casters. This is trouble. That's
Oh,
what it is. It's
frankly
trouble.
reprehensible.
Reprehensible indeed. It deserves to go to League of Legends jail. Jazza gets a stun in place, but is now caught in an awkward position. May just have to flash, frankly. Call the Force Code coming out, and the culling lands on the Visera, not allows else, but Mega Balls is in the backline. That's keeping Aphelios away. Have Tempest overstretched this time. Lucas Bang Alter trying to escape, but is taken so very, very low. It is a 1 for none thus far, but it is swiftly turned back around, and now Organized Crisis flashing back out. Survives.
Aphelios
but now
on his
directly in
own.
trouble. Aphelios is kind of on his own. He gets Zenith Bladed. He's in trouble. Trying to back up, but that is Severum and Infirma. That's a pretty damn good combo for having people running into you. Jazza is now left, and Paper Pirate definitely stealing away after that. At the end of that one, he had no right to get away with that.
If you don't get onto the Aphelios with your Lucian or the Orianna, he is going to heal through all of your damage. We saw that there. The Zenith Blade lands at the end of it. That's great, but Lucian was being dealt with by the Syndra, and this is why we said right from the Champions like, hey, might have a bit of an issue there. Aphelios gets the kite back, the Cloud Soul is made even easier.
Severum Infernum has won games in the past. It certainly does so here. And I can feel a couple centuries come knocking as they move on to the Elder Drake and say, screw the Baron. We want a fight a little bit more. Mega Balls around, though, could look to kind of test.
And he's looking for it. He doesn't have ult, doesn't have flash. There's just the blast plan there. They
Got
have
it, though.
vision.
Pull it out.
He does have the vision, but he's also down 2 levels. Is he going to come
Very
into
risky. Culling
culling?
coming out. Oh! Oh my days! Autumn 24/7. You need a pay rise.
Autumn! What the was that?
Lalo Tyrant. You have got some questions to answer, my friend. That should have been the easiest smite secure of your life. You give over Elder Dragon. You might have given over the 2-0 series, and that Tempest is petering out.
Who needs comp difference when you have the autumn difference? Goes in with the culling and takes down the Elder Dragon.
Days.
Baron in their sights. There's no member disadvantage, although Order's going straight bot lane.
If they just don't want to, they got a teleport, he can be around. There is a smite and a flash on Aladara, but he needs to come up with some magic, because that was a bloody mess.
They're fighting Elder Dragon.
The Moonlight Vigil goes
just
wide.
gonna die to
Paper
Shang.
Dragon does not quite work out. The Paper Pirate's still up, but so very low. One instant auto will go wrong. It's actually trading fairly well here. This is versus Elder Dragon, but the execute is
You can't
there.
fight Elder.
The ball was there. You can't fight those. Orianna now trading onto Naladira, but Naladira likely to win out. The flash comes round. Grandmaster Zeno may be looking for something. Not quite enough damage. The culling is back up. It will be trading.
What are they
And this is
doing?
a 3 for 3, all things said and done, but it's Lucian and Mega Balls remaining, and it will stop the Baron at the very least.
That is some of the most confusing League of Legends I have ever witnessed. Okay, all right, nice. I guess we're back to somehow a very even map set. It says something that fight, even with the Elder, went 3 for 3. You didn't have enough people alive, particularly with the Lucian, the Volibear being so low, to finish off that Baron, and now we are left with just gold being traded back and forth.
I
I am.
There's got to be some way to bring some form of analysis to this, but right now I'm firing blanks. There's nothing here.
It's yeah, just oh man. After so many double taps from Lucian, I just can't.
Yeah.
Just too many shots fired.
All right. Well, we've got 38 minutes into this game. It is 21-18, and not seen a game of League of Legends like this in some time.
Okay, right. We have a full Infinity Edge actually built up by Lucian. I think that's important. Just skip out on just going for the Death Dance. You need the extra damage. Problem is now, I believe that the Elder Dragon is starting to fall off very soon.
It will be.
And if it is even there, it's only left on the Lucian and on the Volibear. Now we're going to have to wait for the next Elder Dragon for that to be a really good team fight from the side of Deja Vu Academy.
I can't believe a culling stole that. You had Smite.
Yeah.
Just stand in front of it, goddamn.
Yes, unlock the damn ultimate. You can stand that way.
Oh.
That is okay.
Like,
That's a
I
thing
know
you can
I'm a
do.
play-by-play caster, but to some extent my profession is doing this, right? And, like, you cannot give that kind of thing over. But we're back around to uber buff objectives, and I don't even know what round this is, but Mortal Kombat was ended a long time ago, and I think I've seen a few too many fatalities thus far. Being shredded though, and here comes Mega Balls plus the Shen one more time. Paper Pirate at the back end of this though just turns it around. Volibear is gone. Crab Rave, or at least Bear Rave, it's turned back around onto the Nautilus by
Auto attack Lucian!
And Lucian gets the kill over onto Aphelios, but it's not in fact it's the other way around, but Shen does shut off Paper Pirate, and now Organized Christ is left by his lonesome as Naladira has just had to get out, and this will be a team fight victory over to Deja Vu Academy. Somehow, someway.
I am so confused by these team fights. I see Lucian going on to Paper at the end of it, and then just not clicking the auto attack button, and then dies because Aphelios turns it back around onto. Does get that kill at the end of it. The Infinity Edge, huge amounts of burst, and this is why I said, okay, maybe we want to see the SS3 over on Lucian this game instead of the Black Cleaver. Comes out, and even with those 3 members remaining, Deja Vu, even with the Orianna who has good damage, choose not to go towards the Baron.
I guess just too low HP. Lucas can attack that, though. I mean, the problem was they had no smite. And Naladira was around and alive. So that would have been a bit scary, and you would have had to hope very well the taunt came through at the right time when you were in trouble.
You don't need a smite this game, you know? Like, it's smite-free hour.
This is smite-free.
It's like happy hour, except happy games.
I think happy hour might explain some of the smite mechanics, because that was a little bit inebriated as far as the reaction times there. Enough flame though. It was a poor play. It did allow them, but the Elder Drake to come back round and get Deja Vu a route back into this game. But still, Baron has not been claimed, and what do you know? It's time to be back around it.
Good heavens! Look at the time. There's a purple worm still up and alive, writhing around in that pit, and it's up for the taking.
Baron has claimed far too many lives this game. I'm literally sat here, guys, with my chin in my hands, and I'm just staring slightly depressed at the screen, wondering what is going on.
How did my life turn to casting this?
45 kills, 41 minutes. Cloud Soul to Tempest.
Importantly, Aphelios has the Death Dance and the Last Whisper now. He is going to be putting out so much damage.
Molten Edge as well, just we mentioned it already.
If in the last fight, Aphelios survives through the back end of it, everyone dies now.
He's got a Last Whisper as well, and somewhere out there, Karthus is singing a tune about that particular item. Rightly so, because I don't care how tanky you are, he's going to shred you at this point with the right combination of guns.
I don't even think it matters about the amount of guns at this point. Pretty much any of them will be killing at the very least, the Lucian, who still doesn't have himself a Death Dance or something like that of his own accord. What we do have is a bit of a split map. We have the Elders spawning, but Deja Vu, after heading towards the top side of the river, seems to have given Tempest the run of the bot side river.
They did, but that's because they were trying to chase a Naladira. He was not there. It meant they didn't want to start up the Elder Dragon without their jungler there, and it looks like it's a party down here.
Wait,
and it's
just giving
bring
them
your
this?
own bombs. We're going to see a bit of an engage going on, and they're going to rush it as fast as they can. It's going down super late this late thing, and Call of the War's got coming out, but Naladira needs to get in. He's got no flash, though, and he's got to find his way in, but it's been a pull off, and that means that Ornn gets 1 kill first. Lucian turns it around, but it's onto the Nautilus, not the biggest deal. That's the Infernum and the Calibrum with as much damage as you damn well like. As much as you need, it ain't enough, and I apologize, it wasn't even an Infernum, just Moonlight Vigil, and Aphelios hits another couple key skills, and everybody evaporates. They brought more bombs to that particular party.
Lucian and Arya hitting the front line. Shockwave does not hit the back line. You know how that ends. We have seen how close it's gotten, even when the Aphelios has died partway through a fight. This time he's relatively untouched, and the entire team of Deja Vu is sent packing, and now there's an Elder Dragon on top of it. This is looking like we're going to game 3.
All right, Purple Wern attempt number 3. Surely this one can't be
3
contested.
times in a night.
I mean, Autumn's alive. He's done it once before. He'd have to pull off a miracle again, but he's not going anywhere near. It is secured. Thank the Lord. We're here. Elder Dragon and Baron buff and a full item of Aphelios. If Tempest can't end this, they deserve to lose.
Yeah, and I think after, 3 rounds of the Baron dance, and they're kind of all spent, and I think this game's done.
All right.
Not going to address that.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
going to try to be professional here. I'm trying to bring some gravitas
I
to
have.
this game.
Not today, so.
Aphelios can do enough of that with gravity. Got that kind of thing. Keep your eyes on that. Finding Eclipse could start off a fight. That's the segue I'm going for, and you're going to have to deal with it. Now, this mid lane tier 2 under siege will go down, and they're going to continue shoving. Aphelios and Syndra not quite here, but shortly to join. They're just grouping up, and remember, with the Elder Dragon on, there is a very small world where Deja Vu can find anything resembling an evil fight.
You can't fight the Elder. We saw what happened when Deja Vu fought Tempest with the Elder. It made things just hilariously more lopsided than it could have been, and even then that only led to an even fight. Now with the stronger late game team comp, with the Elder, with the Baron, this is such a huge team fight advantage. That's so culling.
Here's that actually does shred Organized Crisis a fair amount. Hasn't he gone for the tankiest build here with Locket and Redemption in a third and fourth
It helps his team more, but not himself.
Indeed, and that does mean it actually can help his team, but did take a lot of damage there. Is it going to be enough though? And frankly, is on the target you care about. There is this Aphelios, this Syndra, who do so much more work in these fights as far as damage comes out, but the call of the Forge Guard is here.
There's an
and that will
Infernum.
be a Nexus turret that falls. Infernum ult does come out, and there's a lot of burn going down, and Aphelios now with Calibrum
They just force
out,
him off the Nexus.
just destroys the Nexus turret, and it's going to be one last fight. One last hurrah, one last solar flare that goes onto one and a shockwave onto one. It is 2 in the favor of Tempest, and the storm arrives. It's not enough. It was never going to be enough with those buffs. You had to believe it. And Tempest find their second ever win this particular split in the Valence League, and will bring it to 1-1 in this series.
And we're going the entire 3 games. Oh my word, this break is going to be writing down even more puns and things to think about. It went really long. I think that the draft from Tempest stood them in very good stead, and in fairness, they did end up playing around it. Part of me wonders about some itemization choices. No Leandries on the Oriana if you're going to fight front to back. Going for the rapid fire cannon instead of the blade if you're trying to kill tanks on the Lucian. But still, credit to capturing the throw where it was, if that's what you consider it. And Tempest will bring us to a deciding match.
Looking here at the damage as well, it's another great damage game from Autumn. It just wasn't enough. Even then, we still had some concerns about builds and the like. But for a game that oscillated so much, it started with Tempest getting the first blood after a poor invade. It got turned around again by good play from the Volley Bear, and then back again, back and forth, until finally Tempest managed to close it out. Damn well wasn't clean. But I suppose before we do cut to this break, any kind of thoughts about what you want to see from either of these squads in the next game?
Not a team that perfectly enables Aphelios as the enemy team.
Short, sweet, snappy. Hopefully, just as short this break will be. Go absolutely nowhere, guys. We've got more of this chaos to come.
Ha, mega balls.
we're back. We're still reeling a little bit from that glorious mess of a game.
I can't say it.
Okay. There's been sniggering. There's been chaos. There's been entertainment, and somewhere beneath it all, something resembling League of Legends. Either way, I've got Deja Vu Academy versus Tempest. One last time to decide all the marbles. And it will be Deja Vu Academy onto the blue side again.
Oh, okay, right, yes, game 3. Recover yourself, Nora, please. Okay, Deja Vu. Back onto the blue side. Oh, man, I cannot wait for game 3 of this wonderful madness.
It is pretty brilliant. We're not leaving quite yet.
Nope.
We're still here.
No,
We're still ready to go.
Yeah, no, none of that walk of shame. That happens after.
Yeah, and that'll be what happens to the loser here. No one wants to be the first to pull out of where this is at. We need to kind of realize that this is a lot on the line here. If Tempest ever want to contest to be anything resembling playoffs, right? They need to get some wins under the table, and they're a long way off that right now.
I can't. I'm too tired. It's been a long day, lads. It's been a long, long day.
Okay. Either way, it is going to be match 3.
Sorry, I will
calm
calm myself. I will genuinely calm myself. Oh, God.
Okay.
Thought I was done with this. Thought I was done. You're never done.
You're never done. Been on the edge of our seats for a long time in this one. It was back and forth in the last one. Didn't know quite who was going to come out on top, and it did end up being Team Tempest, though it was pretty close. And things like Cullings stealing away Elder Dragons just shouldn't happen, especially when Smite's available.
I do think that Tempest would massively helped out with the comp difference.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just that. Deja Vu, they had to know that Aphelios and you have to kill Backline, right? You have to kill that Aphelios, otherwise he just carries the late game. They didn't cleanly manage to do that in any fight. Even when they did kill Aphelios, it wasn't pretty scuffed. We saw Lucian struggling to fight front to back, was trying to kite back and kill the front line. They just got too strong, too tanky. And it was just over from that point, really. There was a certain point in the game where, well, we saw the Elder Dragon fight, right? I mean, the Elder went over to Deja Vu, and the fight of Baron afterwards was very close for the fact that there was an Elder Dragon on their side.
Still, I think it does say a lot when, even with Elder Dragon, you still go 3 for 3. Like, that tells you a lot about where the game state is at. We are kind of waiting now on going into kick and ban, but here we are. Straight up. Remember, it's Deja Vu Academy still on the blue side. That hasn't changed. And ban Hecarim away from Nella Direct. Again, check out the op.gg. The man's KDA is pretty insane.
Right.
I mean, we could see there was a point where Ori was on like 200 HP with Elder Dragon, so maybe a QW kills. They just decides to just walk off and save his KDA. I appreciate that. If the jungler dies at that point, it gets really, really
well, then they could go for Baron, right? Like, him surviving there is actually pretty
funny.
huge.
It's funny with the narrative of, oh, he likes to play for KDA, that he walks away from a very low health target.
But it was the smart thing.
However, when you have a late game Orianna dealing with a tank in short range, you don't have flash to close that distance, it is a bit of a risk.
And then they did back off, couldn't go for Baron because it was Smite versus no Smite at that point. A couple key bans coming out, namely the exact same from Deja Vu Academy. They've not changed anything. Caitlyn, Leona are banned right now, and the Leona for Jazza has been kind of a go-to in a lot of engages, and frankly, those solo players were pretty good in the last game. It wasn't enough.
We saw how the 2v2 went, right? Was dealing with the 2v2 relatively well. So, what is the first pick priority? First pick Renekton would, it's pretty hard, but I guess we might see it for lane control, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can pair it up super well with junglers. Like for all that people have issues with it composition later on. In narrow 2v2 scenarios, well, not even narrow 2, just early 2v2 scenarios, you can absolutely snowball very hard through that. It won't be that though. Vladimir.
Worth noting, Vanoffel does play that.
He does.
So it is. Yes, it's well secure.
Resh now locked in response. Lantern, as you said, is kind of. I know you kind of talked about this before. Possibly not on stream actually. What about your VOD reviewing earlier? Actually, to plug that a little bit again.
Right.
You kind of view Thresh in some ways as like pseudo, not semi-glam was kind of the wrong term, but in that same way that Bard, the fact that you can just affect things from such a long way away, particularly with Lantern.
Sure.
Get people to places they perhaps wouldn't be otherwise.
So in the same way that I kind of view Bard and Thresh because of the way they can help people roam very quickly, same with Karma really, that they are somewhat semi-global champions. If you get a Lantern over a wall or get them over a Dragon or Baron pit, you can do, it does kind of affect the map because you drag an AD carry into lane a couple of seconds earlier, or they turn up for a roam a couple of seconds earlier.
Jungler.
Yeah, jungler as well, right? Lantern ganks is very important. If you then increased gank range with the Orianna, does buy some safety for the backline too. Of course, not all that long range capability. Giving that extra mobility to an Orianna can be very, very helpful.
Right. Vladimir Volibear locked in. That's a third game in a row, probably for Mega Balls from that champion. Braum is the response now. Leona's gone. Much more disengage heavy, much less engage here.
So, have ourselves a bit more of a tanky support again. It's not the Leona, doesn't have the same all-in potential. Does open up something like Lucian Braum though.
I suppose it does. I mean, again, Autumn had a pretty good game on the Lucian mechanically. We had more questions.
The laning phase was fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the team fights were played ideologically wrong. You cannot be hitting the front line as the Lucian when the backline will always outdamage you, even if they're behind.
And speaking of things, the ideology wrong, plugging things, I believe, would also be
Oh, no, I
ideology
couldn't do
wrong,
that.
and wouldn't do that. But if one was to go to Games Apparel.co.uk/store/balance, you might find merch there, but that would be ideologically wrong for a caster to do.
I would refuse to be on a cast that would do that.
Yeah, I get it would be very, very wrong.
I'm here for
Same
my
deal.
casting, for my own craft. I wouldn't besmirch it with anything like that.
No, like inappropriate comments, like making a mockery of people's names, or plugging gamersapparel.co.uk
No, we wouldn't do-
/store/balance
those
wouldn't
things.
be something that we would do.
Oh, okay, Aphelios banned away. They know that was the source of a lot of their issues last game. I am
Wise,
left
I think.
wondering what Vanoffle's going to go towards himself.
Well, the Lucian's gone now as well. That's a lot of AD carry bans, and
Oh, both
that's
AD carries have a
asking,
lot.
yeah. So Jin is still up, and that
Mm.
might be an option here. I know that Paper Price has been putting time into
Senna?
that. Senna is another option as well. They put a lot of time into.
Senna is pretty good in lane with something like Thresh as well. Gives that extra mobility, which Senna doesn't have himself. And, okay, left wondering.
I suppose there's an off chance of something like Twitch Yumi being a call if you want to go super into kind of
Well, no, you can't.
mid-game
The
room.
support's already locked in.
Oh,
You can't
sure,
do that,
yes,
so-
of course it would be. It wouldn't be be a fantastic pick with Raw Mind. I suppose you could keep it safe, but that's about it.
But on the complete opposite end of the map, Malphite locked in for Organized Crisis, we are assuming. So we have the Malphite Orianna combo coming out from the other team to the one that played it in game 1.
Indeed, and we know that can be super, super scary. Tristana looking like a potential option here. Regularly these days to be locked in the mid lane. I suppose there's still a world where that's exactly what it is, and the Vladimir goes top. But definitely still waiting to see how this goes out. I wonder whether it is going to be down to that bot side, because so many AD carries have been banned at this point.
Trist Braum is also not a bad combo. I mean, I'm thinking back right to season 4 when that was a kill combo. It's been played intermittently even after the Tristana rework of season 5. And we are kind of left wondering where that flex is going to go, but not for too much longer. It will be Trist bot. Well, actually, when I say that, this is still a flex between mid and bot.
Could well be. I mean, that's there is that Vladimir is
Syndra bot.
pretty much guaranteed to be top, but Trist could
Not
straightly
necessarily. Not necessarily. You could have Syndra bot, Vlad mid, with Trist up if you
go.
really,
Really wanted
to.
to. Like, okay, well, how mad do you think Deja Vu Academy are? Have to see.
I like
Kai'Sa is the response. Kai'Sa Thresh,
Look at-
not bad. You've got a fair ways to set up for Kai'Sa. Also, bluntly, Kai'Sa's not a bad ball delivery system.
I mean, we used to have the Kale bomb combo, right? You have
Yeah.
Kai'Sa with the Kale going in and nuking the backline. The thing about Kai'Sa is that she's the one real diving AD carry that really gets straight into the backline. Trist is not an awful AD carry doing
Parallel.
that too, but yeah, parallel. However, just with the speed of that killer instinct, it allows you to get right on top of the backline and deal a lot of damage to them. So on Malphite Orianna with the follow-up with the Kai'Sa, lots of damage coming out from Tempest in their later game team fights, but can they deal with the AoE of Vladimir and the all-in 100-0 of the Trist and Syndra?
Honestly, Syndra's scary enough, but if you add in damage and from Hemo Plague, like the threshold for the 100 to 0 is just so much lower, and that's always been the breakpoint for Syndra. When does 90% dead go to completely dead in one combo? And that's always been the breakpoint.
Given that it is attached 10.16, some of the Q damage has gone down from Syndra. That doesn't help, and that's one of the reasons we're seeing a little less of her. She's still fine. She's still fine. She does fine in laning phase. Syndra Orianna is a very well-studied matchup. They both kind of just farm. They can trade some large amounts of health, amounts of HP, get that different priority over. It's been relatively even in the mid lane. Besides that, well, I mean, game 1 we saw the Triss Ori, which is very different. That is strictly a counter matchup where you are expecting
Triss
kills
ends up
coming
always behind. Yeah.
did end up a ways behind because they prioritized going for the skirmishes instead of farming up efficiently too. Yeah, that's definitely right.
All right. So, Aldara largely had a fairly good game on the Trundle, I think it's fair to say. So, no surprise to see that back.
It was well, it had the easier time as the frontline versus
Yes.
the Lucian rather than being the Volibear versus the Aphelios. Yeah.
But again, you don't I suppose, considering the way that Mega Ball has been building this Volibear as well, which has largely been tank Volibear, there are still stats pretty readily available for Trundle, which just means the value does go up. Trundle without tanks to steal from is a much less stable pick in team fights. Still got the utility of Pillar, but
yeah, I think that Trundle before the last couple of nerfs where his W and his E were nerfed they were buffed in the preseason earlier on.
very strong.
Very strong. That meant that he could be blind picked into most situations and still be fine versus zero tank comps because at least the pillar is very threatening to them if they're low mobility. And you are still an okay frontline even without your ultimate being there to steal a lot of stats, and you allow your team to burst out one carry harder than the rest. You can just target someone, say in this game, the Syndra, the Tristana, and then have the Orianna shockwave them, the Kai'Sa just jump on top of them. That is more than fine. It's not quite as good for your own personal frontline experience.
Personal frontline experience, is that like
Is that a band name? Yeah.
Well, no, that would be a great band name, but I'm also thinking is that like a tour you sell? Like join
frontline
like,
experience.
Now that Thomas Cook is folded, are you going to virtual holiday experience? Come join one and all the personal frontline experience. You too can learn what it is like to be a tank on the front line. It's like for Yasuo players, they don't really want to change. Like, this is a way of experiencing the other side without actually ever having to
It's like playing
be...
ARAMs and being forced to play something else.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, this is the VL. The VL RAM is a real thing.
VL, VL. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was hoping for like a bit more of a VA RAM, and I'm like, that doesn't work.
No. I mean, like balance.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work pretty hard on this one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna work something for the L that would not be inappropriate because that's all I've done this evening is making.
Yeah. It's gonna start again soon because the refractory period's over.
All right, that's a bit of an evil cackle for you all, and oh boy, well, waiting is over. We're out of a spectator delay,
I was gonna say
and we as voyeurs of this particular game will be watching these players momentarily after we've loaded into game, and
okay, that's my last good one. I literally have nothing left.
I've got a few, but I'm trying not to. I might have to cast these guys again, and Byron, this is what you've done to us.
Why have you done this?
Oh, he knows exactly why he's done this. Like, don't beat around the bush. See, I told you I had a few.
Yeah. Oh God.
This game definitely has the potential to be explosive one way or another. Dragon Trainer Tristana gonna try and work her magic in the bot lane. It is a super cute skin, just horrifying when it dies. Like,
It's terrible. It's like Nunu dying. I can't.
It's really bad.
I'll save you, Nunu.
No, you
that
won't.
one. Save you, Willem. No. That's
He's a giant yeti, but he's not going to make some cute noise.
It's actually relatively adorable. Yeah.
Have you seen AP Noodle? That thing's not adorable.
That
thing is vile.
I have cast AP Nunu. It's very crazy.
All right. So, seen these comps? I think I honestly favor Tempest's comp just because of ease of
much
execution.
easier to pull it off. Much easier. I think a lot of it depends on Paper Pirate and how and when he's jumping in. I wasn't particularly impressed by his positioning in the last game. Very nearly lost his team the game through being in front of his front line. Not something you want to do. Being caught out by people just because just not playing around his front line particularly well. If he can burst out someone like the Syndra or the Triss very early, yeah, that's great, sure. But I do need to see a bit more awareness of what's happening in the larger team fight.
And I think it's probably fair to call out, I think with 2 team fights before I definitely had my eyebrows raised. There were a few that were also pretty good, to give some credit where it is due. But this is another one of those games where it could well be quite easy for carry focused on both sides. Yes, there's an Orianna. Yes, there's a Syndra. Hell, there's a Vladimir. But these are two carries that are pretty heavy. But we're going to hit to a video for the last time. Continue that discussion straight after. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time. We are onto the Rift. Deja Vu Academy slipped up a little here. They are now no longer going to be able to match Horizon Light at the top of the table purely because of game score. That's what they were looking to do, and to lose it to 0 for Tempest, that in and of itself is a bit of an ignominious way to not hit first. Still, of course, more of the split to play out, but that's going to be a frustration. And Tempest here, looking to make it more than just a little bit ignominious, going to make it a straight-up embarrassment. Proper walk of shame, as we've kind of alluded to already.
Yeah, and losing their perfect game record so far. That's a big thing, right? I think that this team comp is going to be relatively hard to pull off from Deja Vu. I think that you need to be able to keep yourself safe from one of the most obvious threatening combos in the game, the Malphite Orianna, and you're doing it with a Syndra. And Syndra is not someone who's kitted out to really escape that kind of combo. It's also an electrocute Syndra. We saw how Orianna could get caught out by a Trundle
Won that phase rush.
in the last game, particularly against someone like Trundle who does have a long range slow in that pillar and wants to run you down. You do have something like phase rush raises up in variety, not in value very, very much. Not having that, instead going for more of the kill combo from the electrocute, ballsy. Oh no, I did it again.
It's fine. It's fine. The thing is, everything that you feel is normal becomes not normal the moment you add in the puns. Everyone's on that wavelength now. Everything is going to be potentially innuendo ridden.
Yeah.
Concussive blow. Stack onto Bicep. A little more to be found. And be fair to shout out, right? Van Offel has gone for a very aggressive Syndra build into a comp pretty designed to make her life hell.
So
Pillar, Shockwave on Malphite, like even hell, a Thresh Hook could be the end of this Syndra, and it's in the name, right? Unstoppable Force is not stopped by a Syndra QE. Like
No,
it's
it's
going,
not.
like he won't stop that coming at you.
So don't get me wrong. When I play Syndra in solo queue, I go for electrocute. I love having the kill combo. If you have a Q on the ground, you E through it, auto Q. Even from level 2, you can get some really good, basically zero counterplay electrocute combos, where the enemy champion is stunned in the duration of your big burst electrocute combo, and you just get to walk away after that. However, it's not just about laning phase, and as we can see right now, being pushed in by the Syndra, down 5 CS even off the first couple of waves, not going particularly well for Van Offel.
No, it's not, and I know it's supposed to be a relatively even matchup, all things said and done. Syndra or only, like Orianna, honestly, or Syndra, honestly, I tend to feel has a little bit more in the way of threats because you can catch people from a little bit further with your QEs.
Well,
Speaking of, though, there we go, there's that threat. Flash, full flash. But the Sky Splitter will claim the life with a little bit of assistance. Mega Balls strikes first. 2 is greater than 1.
It's greater than 1. Electrocute coming from Syndra, pretty big there. You saw how close it got up until that Sky Splitter came through. Could not get to the safety of the turret of the Orianna. And the flip side of being able to get priority early is that you are open towards ganks. Who else is open towards ganks? This Malphite, very, very low, and both junglers converging on top lane.
We saw Lucas in the last game was winning out in the laning phase pretty hard on that Shen. Shen is not necessarily the carrying in of himself. He's there to facilitate largely, and that's what his champion kit is all around doing. Vladimir, though, get those kind of advantages out of lane, and again, you're against a Malphite. You have free reign to be transfusing your way out of, literally drawing blood out of a rock, quite, to be honest.
So, difficult thing, making it look very easy right now. What can't he do?
But, you know, if you can get those advantages, Vladimir can absolutely carry the game.
This is the kind of game where last season you would take Kleptomancy and just get insanely fed. Of course you don't get to do that.
Nuggery weeks that's gone.
But look at this, he's just every time he's getting his empowered Q, and Malphite is not trading back very effectively, even with the Comet. This is going to be very dangerous.
Miss out on the ground pound.
Yeah, ground pound doesn't work out all that well, and seismic shards are nice, but you need a little bit more in there before you start really hurting. And honestly, Vladimir using the empowered Q to step forward, going to try and get something. He's in the bush, but the ward comes out. It's going to be close. An organized crisis. Crisis, all right. And Lucas, bang, alter. I know you need to feed the village, but don't do it with your own flesh and blood, man.
Gets too big for himself. He thinks he's got the kill, misjudges it, good flash away, buys the next round of cooldowns for the Malphite, not the Vladimir. The kill comes through against the laning phase. Grain of the woods so far.
Was pretty damn close, but just that moment or two in the bush to get a little bit more HP, to get some cooldowns back, earned enough time.
By the way, I have no idea about what this village thing is.
Neither do I, but
I'm just rolling with it. I saw it in chat. I'm like, cool. I'm
glad
glad
he's
got
got a village. Apparently,
He's feeding the Malphite. Feeding the Malphite.
mountain.
There's the mountainous village people.
The
Of,
mountain is the village.
The mountain is the the mountain village people of the mountain.
It's like Star Wars, right? When you look up, it says that's no moon.
That's
Mountain.
a village.
That's no mountain. That's a village. Exactly. And Malphite gratefully receives the donation.
Yes, thank you for your donation. And this is a really good game for him to go for the Abyssal Mask and go to Merc Threads. Also, you have a lot of armor scaling on Malphite, but it doesn't mean you're not good at tanking up the AP as well, given that the Volibear is also mixed damage and you have 2 AP solo laners. Malphite very, very happy with this turn of events.
I feel like I could write Nala Dyret's pathing out on a small piece of paper at this point, because it's another 6-minute drag over to this Trundle. I think that's been pretty much every game this series.
There's a difference between writing it down and know it's going to happen and actually being able to do anything about it. You have bot lane prio because Trist is not great in the early game lane. She can get all in, and Thresh, as we were saying, you land one hook onto someone, can be very, very dangerous. And Kai'Sa with Hail Blades, good burst damage. There's no ignite in the lane for Deja Vu. You do have the exhaust heal, which is get better defensively. It doesn't mean you can't look for those same kind of kill trades.
Also got to be a little afraid here now that there is a teleport on Malphite as level 6. And yes, actually, there isn't all that much pressure in lane now from any of Deja Vu.
Yeah, I need to go check that out. Maybe have some more salt. Blood pressure too low.
Blood pressure is too low. There's
else
enough
helps?
salt in chat, though.
Right.
There's always enough salt.
I mean, Bow's there.
It's true.
Love you, Bao.
We love you, Bao. We miss you, man. Come back and play for us sometime. Either way, we're going to see lanes pushed in largely in favor of Tempest right now, and with teleports available specifically for that Malphite. Potentially a bit of a risky time trying to come to the gank, especially if organized by quick on.
However, who's the one calling the shots and pulling that trigger? There are go buttons from both teams. We have normally seen Deja Vu wait until the larger team fight phases, but we probably won't see that for another minute or two, because the Herald's coming up. That'll be the next big thing. Parade from Van Offel gets the... No, it doesn't get a lift.
Fortunate, that's a bit sad, by the way. For all the organized crisis did in fact get the kill up there. Like, he's down to be Paramount CS. Part that's just the nature of the matchup, but part of it as well is just some CSing mechanics there, not quite as well as you'd like.
Yeah, there's something to be said about, I think there's something to be said about forced errors versus unforced errors. I think that's the tennis terminology. When you are literally out of reach to be able to reach a tennis ball in the court, that is an unforced error. There's nothing to do about it. And is this going to be a forced error because you're choosing to take a fight? We'll see.
All right, there is wards available, but organized crisis not looking to get in, gets Buster shot back, and it's not an insect, but it's damn close. Tristana needs to come up with her own name for that one. Stop stealing Lee Sin's skill expression.
Okay, so kill over to the Trist. We've seen how Fed Trist can do in their various strong matchups. This time not in the hands of Xeno, though, but in the hands of Autumn. We said that Trist in lane can be a bit weak. Now having that extra lead, let's see how this 2v2 goes from this point.
Okay, so Tristana gets the kill. We know that Autumn has hard carry games before. He was trying to do it in the last one. Could definitely be a bit scary. You see Malphite there holding the wave, causing Vladimir to be in a bit of a tricky spot with the pink ward in the river as well. There is a gank available. Vladimir still not quite got flash. There is an unstoppable force. There is a pillar.
There is
and
a
Lucas
pool.
needs to be very afraid. I look at that flash time. It's desperately close to coming up, and there's the unstoppable force. Pearl has not been used yet. Bang, Alter going in, has got the Hemoplague, needs like one more Q, flashes forward, it's off cooldown, and the healing is there. And Mega Balls is here to turn it right back around.
Okay.
That time it worked out.
And you know what's not working right now? The stream. Very far behind us, apparently. So, unfortunately, we turned into a time machine once again.
Have we?
Yeah. Production, if we can do a time sync up, we can do that. Would you like to still wait at any particular time? We're currently at 9:50. 9:50, that's a long way into the game.
Yeah.
We will wait for confirmation on that.
Yeah, we're just going to keep casting until that time. Production, get out there. Talk to us, man.
Talk to us. I mean, I'm very alone. Hang on, let me go check what's happening. I can do that, but, you know. Okay, anyway, no response.
No response. Somewhere out there. We're just going to cast as is for now. We'll be told what we're to do. Until such a time as that, we're going to cast League of Legends, possibly from the future, because we're so big brain that
We have game
can
power
work it out.
some would deem unnatural.
Is the only way you can learn this power?
Not from Mega Balls.
Not. No. What do you learn from?
That's a very good question. I mean,
Mega Rackets.
Oh, tennis puns.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. We found a way to make family-friendly Mega Balls puns. We went straight towards the bad stuff. We could have been talking about ball sports all along.
I made Dragon Ball puns earlier.
Okay,
Good.
true.
See, there's ways you could have taken this, but no. We had to make knocked up jokes instead. Baron does that quite a lot though. Like the catch pretty dangerous there. They can like catch people in the air. Really pretty okay with that. You know, ruin games.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna back up our stream until we get to something. You know, I have the power to do that myself.
All right.
Maybe. Like, we're still gonna be like many seconds out.
Well, yeah. We're gonna
We're back to like 10. Wait. Let's have a look one more time.
all right.
I think this is about as good as it's gonna get. I think we're within 5 seconds. I have judged from the stream. The villagers averted this crisis. You know, we've been fed by the Vladimir.
We have.
And hopefully we can be saved by time travel. Did you even I mean, saving a village by time travel, that's definitely up there.
Okay, so we'll sort this out properly when we've got in a moment or two. But until that time, we'll cast as is. What's going to do with it? We can talk with you guys. We can make this a
Wait.
fireside stream.
I mean, we get to see this again. And
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get to the point where we have to play Hangman again.
Always a possibility. Like I know you did that. Like the thing is, I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable doing that because that was when you were casting with somebody else, and that was not okay.
But we're on 10:40 right now. We can do that. I already reversed as a minute, by the way. Okay. We are there now. Okay, we're going now. I see you didn't say 3, 2, 1, go, so I'm assuming we're there. Okay, we'll pause at 11:10. Lovely, I'm there now. Would you like to give us a countdown? Oh, wow. It feels like Back to the Future. Well, no, maybe something is slightly more dystopian than that. But
Yeah.
we are apparently in sync. Not
Time
bad.
travel
I
is
would wish
difficult to figure out, guys. No, it takes serious
wish I was in
coordination. Like you don't understand the kind of power production wield here at VL.
Don't understand the power of the dark side.
No, no one does. Well, perhaps they do. And
They're hiding from us. Sith and hiding.
there's only two of them. Are we the Sith Lords? Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? Well, who's going to be the baddie in the top lane? Looks like there's
Here we
another
go
ult there.
again. There is no flash on Lucas Bang Alta, but he has the belt. There is a pillar to make his life very short. Bonk goes Naladira, and
Shows
a
not to
kill
ult.
goes over. I'm not sure he would have saved him, frankly.
I mean, if he ults before the pool, maybe he buys some time. Either way, it was a very quick kill combo out of Trundle, who with the press the attack has decent burst damage. It is a second death of the game. The village is in danger once more.
Oh no, the village. What are we going to do for the village? Trundle, they've got troll problems now.
Oh, that's the worst thing. It needs
It's
to hit
the
hire some
worst.
adventurers.
Which brave adventurers do you think will come?
Someone with a ruddy big gun in the bot lane.
How about a bear called with serious?
That
you know,
sounds
a
like
very
another-
ballsy bear.
That sounds like another problem you would have after it's killed the troll.
True, but mountains with bear problems sounds a little bit more normal than a blood vampire with a troll problem.
In fact, that's a very niche situation. You know, like I am pretty well studied on the troubles of the world.
Yeah.
But that's one which I haven't encountered before. Can you tell me more about the blood vampires with the troll problem?
So it is really important to note that there are different kinds of vampires.
Okay, good.
Because like Ari's a memory vampire.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, hey, not judging that.
I'm okay, yeah.
We know you're okay with that. Anyone can see.
I like to
Michelle
think
is okay
that,
with
like I had memories and she just vampired them away.
Yeah.
It's slightly sad, but at least someone cared for me at some point in my life.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh! Ow! 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 Okay.
Yeah. Well, that hurt. That reminds you that there was nothing there. So we'll.
I want Stan. No, Stan's even worse than. Okay.
All right. So yeah, and this particular vampire is bonked on the head a lot. Seen the meme. Ends up in jail. Shouldn't be in jail. Yeah. Really sad. And at this point,
Is this going somewhere? What are the other kinds of vampires?
what are the other kind of vampires? There are
Skill vampires.
skill vampires. Yeah. So that's like playing with me. I'm a skill vampire. Make
Yeah,
it
you.
worse.
Yes,
I actively make. It
I
worse.
lose every game.
We're normally all right, to be fair. As long as I play the right champions. If I play Elise, we can just like smash. But until that point, we're going to see an engaging bot side. We're going to talk about vampires later because the jump comes in alongside the bear and vampire problems down here. Only a dead Thresh. How's the soul vampire?
Well, he might be, but he has had his own soul condemned to that death chain that goes down for his second death of the game. Did manage to play Trist out of the jump as the extra damage came through from the pop of the explosive shot. However, with the focus down on bot side from Megaballs and his ultimate committed there, is that Trundle is moving his troll business to the blue buff, the manufactory of the blue team's junk. That's gone now. Gone, taken, given to the Clockwork Lady.
Is there a bridge that he does a toll for?
Ah, well, he does exact tolls on the enemy team.
Ah, I see. Right, and I suppose like he's kind of oppressive in his own right. He's a he subjugates, right? I suppose strictly he's a troll king.
Yeah.
So it's like double oppression.
Wow, have you ever heard of oppression? Now time for double oppression.
It's pretty awful, guys. Like Trundle's not a good person.
He's not a person to control.
What is the creature you are determined? Like he's a sentient creature. He's definitely a person.
Okay, my bad.
Don't be that guy. Wow.
Like, oh no, he's not a
I
human.
am
It's
so
like,
sorry you had to hear that. This cast.
I've misspoke.
Oh, genuinely shocking.
And
what was-
thankfully, there's no culling, so no chance of a steal.
No. Very true. It will be Megaballs who secures the Rift Herald. And that will be a hook onto Braum, but little more to be found to dash forward, splash out. But the shockwave is pretty good, and that means that Megaballs has to also flash away. With a quick door to prevent any further engage. Not the easy mid lane push that Deja Vu Academy will look.
This is a great example of why we think Orianna is a disengaged champion in certain team compositions. If people are very long range and you can't shockwave them easily, you can't get through the front line to the important people. Say like in Aphelios in that last game, the Orianna probably, well, if there was an Orianna on their team, wouldn't be able to get to it. You can.
Ooh, it's got a lantern, and we'll get out.
Yes. However, you see there, the two tanky frontliners start jumping forwards. You shockwave them, and they are stunned, CC'd, and locked in place. And whilst also taking a lot of damage, can be very, very important in the larger team fights because you stop these people doing their job as a frontline.
Okay, so Orianna there got out, was a little bit aggressive with the positioning there, but that means she's not around. Well, she is just about around. I apologize for this Infernal Drake start, but Kai'Sa is not. That means it's
Shockwave is
likely
available.
To be...
They have the Amalfi ult
They're
too.
teleporting in. The ball is here, but it's just too late. But they're still going to go in. The Shockwave hasn't gone down yet. And that is going to be the fight commencing. Megaball's very, very low, but still alive. Organized Crisis will get Megaballs, but it is 1-for-1 thus far because Tristana turned it around and the Shockwave just wasn't used.
Shockwave wasn't used, wasn't in a position to do so. There was a well-timed exhaust from Kai'Sa who's taking that summon spell.
Good hook!
Oh!
And that means that Lucas Bang Ult are now in trouble. There is still that Shockwave available. There is still the Killer Instinct available. Van Offal does throw out the Dark Sphere, and that Thresh is so damn low. But once again, those key ultimates not used there.
Sure, but look at the health bars. There was a flash on a full health Tristana. The resets were burgeoning. If you mess up once one misstep, and we were talking about positioning coming into this game, this could go very, very badly wrong. the way, it's a 1-for-1, all things said and done, I believe. Dragon goes over to Deja Vu.
I would have started feeling like a Mars advex. We've been jumping around far too much after that one.
That would have
been a bit niche for the UK.
Yeah.
But it's a song as well.
Jump.
Jump up, and get down with a full wave of first. Garnet, definitely at a strong point. Also looking around here.
It's a huge 2-item spike. Huge. You get
Massive.
50% CDR, which means you get an extra, something like 17% damage on your bomb pop, whilst also having a lot of AD to work with that too. I think that Trist will be able to deal with the tanks at that point, particularly because they're building magic resist. If you don't lock up and kill the Trist, things get very, very bad. So not looking great for Malphite right now.
Belt
Okay,
is
I'm wrong.
still on cooldown. Not very many ways for Lucas to get in closer. Worth pointing out as well, this is not the CDR Vladimir build we normally see. Has decided to stop off after the Proto Belt by heading towards the Haunting Guys. We're still waiting on a number of first item completions on the other team. Namely that Orianna hasn't got to the Ludens to be at parity with the Syndra. Interesting is Dirk in for Kaiser second.
So it's
as
not
well.
it's not Manamune, which is really, really good going into the late game. And it's gone for the Essence Reaver into Dirk. It means your Q is upgraded, and with the your Q being that Missile Storm, the Cathian Rain, being physical damage, that Dirk does apply to that. If you dive in, you get a couple of autos and that Q. Your damage is very, very high. It's not as late game scaling something like a Muramana into something like, again, you can go for the Dirk after Muramana too if you'd like to. You don't get a Rage Blade particularly early to deal with something like the Volley Bear or the Braum or the Vladimir or any of the tanky members. It's slightly earlier game, maybe just tide them over to a point where they can start team fighting with the front to back and hope that the Orianna can pull a bit more weight in the late game.
Well, we're at even gold. It's 1 tower to 1. There is the unstoppable force. Now Lucas needs to find his way out. Blood out. Not a lot else to be found there. Honestly, Malphite, having gone the Abyssal Mask, not that much damage, frankly.
Oh, you have a lot of base damage as Malphite, but often what you're doing with your ult is using it to lock someone in place and help make sure they can't get away before your second seismic shard comes up. Next, W proc comes up where you can start bashing people in with your base damages.
No clap to be found there, though, and Vladimir just walk away, frankly.
Vladimir, speaking of, 10% CDR from the Protobelt, has 10% from the Transcendent rune, and also has 10% probably between scaling CDR in his primary rune and also the Cosmic Insight. So we start on about 30% CDR, something like that, if I calculate that right. And then, of course, you get the... Oh, means he's actually on very high CDR. I know someone in chat was saying, yo, CDR on Vlad. You get a lot from runes and items. It allows you to build stuff like Leandri's and Spellbinder.
Sure. I mean, there is a reason, though, we still see the kind of the bargain bucket build for Vladimir, where he does go for the Phoenix Codex as well as the Kindle Gem early to try and hit that 45% as early as he can. So that's still 50% on that. But honestly, when you are into Trundle Malphite is your primary lane opponent, rushing that Leandris doesn't sound like a bad option.
No, it's not awful. It means your burst onto the backline kinda sucky, but it does give the option to sit inside for longer. However, with something like the Bramble Vest coming up and Malphite generally being able to deal with Vladimir pretty okay as long as he's somewhat even with him, I don't think the lane is already going to go fantastically for you, so why not go for something like Spellbinder? Try and nuke that Trist, the Ori, and the Kai'Sa on the enemy team.
Again, got a little bit wary because Kai'Sa has pretty wisely gone for that exhaust because Vladimir will be gunning for her. As will this Syndra, as will this Tristana, and you've kind of got to exhaust first target. If you can exhaust the Unleashed Power, if you can exhaust the full Vladimir combo as he's coming running at you, then maybe you survive.
And survival for the backline is once again Tempest's MO. If you get Orianna with the Ludens not going towards the Seraphs for the easier survivability, going for the early burst instead, and you have the Kai'Sa surviving, continuing to stack up an eventual Rage Blade or something like that, will be very, very important for this team.
Okay, once again, we are seeing Stone Plate now complete for Volley Bear, which is pretty big, but again, it's into that Trundle. That's really the easiest way to keep those stats alive. Zeke's Convergence in for this Thresh as well. Can be pretty powerful with something like a Kai'Sa to pair that up with.
Kai'Sa is very, very strong right now. Question is whether they get the correct angle for the Kai'Sa to free fire within a fight. And that's the same kind of situation for all AD carries. The Kai'Sa has her own reposition tool.
what? Keep your eyes on Malphite, keep your eyes on Orianna. Mega Ball's now stepping forward,
Trundle
looking for an engage. The Trundle ult's out, but there goes Organized Crisis with the Shockwave on top. It's going to be secured, though, that Infernal Drake, by Mega Balls. That's a pretty big down. The fight now continuing. And Lucas, bang, Alta gets a return engage into the backline, and it will be Tristana that claims one, but Paper Pirate turns it around as well. It is 1-1.
Oh, Syndra's caught out now, though.
Syndra's caught out. Van Offel finds a death sentence, and that's exactly what it is, but the golden statue will buy time. But he's being left, gets an unleashed power, and goes 1-for-1. Credit where credit is due. And somewhere on the other side of that as well, Kai'Sa picked up a third.
What a messy fight. Maybe getting a fourth here, but Mega Ball's
Wait,
going
he gets it anyway. Grandmaster Zeno is going to be around.
Okay, so that is a 4-for-2. Dragon goes over to Deja Vu. Infernal Soul Point, but what a mess of a fight.
So, they have got Baron alive, but not a lot of health bars. They'll instead shove into this mid-tier 1, but that is absolutely correct. Mega Balls jumped in and did secure that third Drake. They are on Infernal Soul Point, and when you're running triple damage, having a couple Infernal Drakes as well is no mean stat boost.
Absolutely not. Do you want to praise and then temper that praise for Lucas in the top side there? What he did on Vladimir is something which I very much like Vladimir's to do. When the team fight is committed, when the other team has committed their engaged tools, you're immediately all in the backline. He does that, but he kind of flubs how he does it. He charges up an E, he has flash available, he doesn't flash RE to get that huge burst combo, he lets the E peter out, then goes forward for the ult, and doesn't have an E ready to really rake across the entire team. Means that the backline kinda doesn't take as much damage as they might have done with a more perfect Vladimir combo. However, it was enough to split up the fight, at least get some kills in return.
Second item's now coming in. It is that Storm Razor in Fedge combo. Tristana on the other side, though, Nash's 2-second buy for Paper Pirate. Not finishing off whatever that dirt will eventually turn into. Possibly honestly, like an Edge Knight wouldn't be a bad call versus the likes of a Syndra.
Yeah, no, I think that you can afford to leave that late game. It's mainly for the Q evolve.
Yep.
And it just gives you the extra AD. And of course, just having the extra 10 lethality from the item is
No bad thing. Nice early spike. Came into useful there. 2-0-2 is this Kai'Sa. And once again, we're at a bit of a stalemate, but 3,000-ish gold, 2.5. Fairness, probably in the favor of Tempest right now, is a big deal. Even that Infernal Soul win condition is there for Deja Vu Academy, but they need to not bleed out more by the time they get there. On the side, though, Tristana at 4-1. Pretty scary, and now Vladimir being left alone in the side lane as well. Has to be a point of pressure.
And Trist has really high AD build, and Trist is not a champion that scales as well with attack speed as other AD carries because her Q exists. It's really high attack speed ratio, and I'm pretty sure that her attack speed is not as high as some other AD carries, really. So having a high AD build and not going for, say, a second Zeal item over something like a Storm Razor is pretty okay for someone like Trist.
What other guy? I suppose is that something of the reason like Kiki can go for that as well because she gets the auto reset.
Yes, and also the fact that she has 20% bonus attack speed at level 1.
Right.
She doesn't just have that flat attack speed, she has 20% attack onto it. Which means that, again, her attack speed ratio not that high, and the fact that she has so many, again, auto attack resets and damage abilities.
So, a little bit of build doctor workshop there. Don't lose to Boris, guys. The shopkeeper is out for your gold, not for your welfare. Think about what items you're buying. You can see that probably wisely Tron's gone for that Spirit Visage completion now as well versus the double AP threats. Like Volley Bear, mixed damage, even if it is the tank as well. Not a bad thing to be thinking about.
I mean, Volley's not going to be doing damage, it's not stun fight.
And I also think there's some truth to actually going for the flat pen on the Orianna this game, which may well turn into a Morella Nomicon versus the likes of a Vladimir, and of course,
I
will eventually want a little bit
would
of
have preferred a Leandri's on Orianna again, particularly if these fights go a little long. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's not the worst thing ever. It gives you some HP. I think that Oblivion Orb does fall off in late game in a lot of compositions, unless you're an assassin, which is aiming for, you know, perfect short-term burst windows.
Orianna can kind of hit that with certain shockwave combos, I suppose.
You can do, but you're also against, you know, Braum, Volibear. You're not going to be doing great damage versus them, and you're often, as the Orianna, looking to go through the front line first. I guess with a Malphite,
you are hitting back,
and then also having the Abyssal Mask on top of that, the flat pen that pseudo gives you is still not bad, and it means that you do almost do true damage to the likes of this Tristan Syndra.
So the key is, if you're going for that Oblivion Orb, guys, is the TLDR is, well, you know, the run on there is the word I was looking for. Not bad versus the likes of Vladimir. It makes sense and wants the healing reduction at some point. because you got a Malphite, you can get onto the backline, but that's what the Orianna build is to do. It's not going to do all that much work versus
Whereas
the Braum.
you can see the Zhonya's built for Syndra. I wonder if Banshee's Veil will be better, but then you have that problem of, oh, can you survive? Well, can you keep that unpopped? You can potentially Zhonya's the Malphite combo, but we've got a big fight coming up.
And it's a big, big one because it's Infernal Soul on the line. Deja Vu really want this. They are not in the River Knight
They have
now.
to funnel
The Mega
in.
Balls is going to not get in time. Do they even look
They're
for the
going
fight?
for
They
the
still
fight now?
go for it. Malphite's still there, and that was just the E used onto Visera for whatever reason by Orianna. That meant there was no Malphite Orianna combo. Now Mega Balls has got Stoneplate, but it's caught in the front line versus a lot of damage. And with the Subjugate running, now Ladarian takes absolutely no damage, even with the Unleashed Power used on him. These W's coming out from Kai'Sa, still hunting, still looking for a little bit more. Can organize Crisis. Again, he's not got the Unstoppable Force anymore, so not look for that hard engage, but they don't care. Tempest are now going to wander straight over to this Baron and look to push the advantage where they can. They're going for this bush bait. Remember, though, that because of the Speed Shrine, they're going to know that they're not in there right now.
Just timed out, though.
That's just, but now they're still going to look for it. There's the W landing onto Autumn 24/7, but it would be a bloody risk to go diving in right now.
Say that, but actually having the 40% CDR from Essence Reaver and Nash's too, it means that your E and your Q are on such low cooldowns. You maybe can burst out someone like the Trist, as long as your team buys you enough time and saves you from the likes of Volibear. Having the extra percent HP damage of the Kai'Sa, even without the Rage Blade, means this Baron goes down quick. They're peeling off it.
Zeno is very, very low, and that's a lot of the damage. Visera caught a little awkwardly there. Has Flashback, gets caught by a stun. That is Lucas. Bang, Alter in the backside. And who needs a shockwave? Organized Crisis gets onto Van Offel, but now Autumn 24/7 trying to do as much work. And bang, Alter falls before the Hemoplay comes out. Kai'Sa's Cathian Rain is doing just that, but it's a double for Tristana, and the explosions rain down in favor of that Trist. And Kai'Sa tried, but it wasn't enough. 7-1-0 Tristana.
Autumn 24/7 turns on the DPS and gets 3 kills. With his Volibear being low HP, they don't feel bold enough to go towards the Baron, particularly with Naldirat still alive on the Trundle, but it will still be the team fight victory and a lot of gold over to that ADC's pocket.
And Master Zeno didn't pull the trigger throughout either of those fights. Shockwave wasn't used. Tristana gets to run wild with the high AD damage items, and now at 7-1 is pretty much guaranteed to put out vast amounts of damage in any given fight if she's ever allowed in space.
How much gold is the inventory? That's 3,000 there for the Trist.
Rapid
This
fire.
still does mean that the Baron's still alive, and we see that Ori is going back over. They're just checking that's not been started. Of course, it hasn't been. Now we are left with another couple of minutes until the next dragon, but maybe still a fight around this Baron, which is still alive.
Malphite has gone towards the Thornmail, as you can see in inventory, alongside the Codex as well, so possibly looking for a little AP somewhere. Something like maybe a Zonya's, I could imagine, or a Proto Belt. No. What am I thinking about? That's Hextech and Kittle Gem, so not that, incidentally.
It's like, oh, yeah, no, what are you talking about?
Look at that. Trist goes back, buys a full one-shot rapid fire cannon and a second Zeal. Definitely damn strong. Possibly looking towards something like a Phantom Dancer for him.
I think a Phantom Dancer would be decent. I agree with that. You don't really want to go to war. I mean, you can go for the shift if you want the real damage and the AoE slow. But given how you are so much of your team's damage at this point, we saw that in the last fight, right? You want to play to protect your lead whilst also still doing relevant damage. The Phantom Dancer is still a very good fallback.
Okay, so check in. It was a 3,000 gold lead. Now a 2,500 gold lead to Deja Vu Academy. They are starting. Well, actually, sorry, it's Tempest starting up this Baron. And with the teleport coming in, Deja Vu Academy a little bit split. Look where Volibear and Trist are. They're nowhere near. There's no teleports. They can just rush this down. Kai'Sa's got the damage. I think they've done this.
Vladimir might be able to clean up this
Too
fight
late.
still, though.
They've got to find their way out. That is the engage from Braum. But now, remember, Tristana still not quite here. Kai'Sa dives in. Killer Instinct. Cathian Rain. Mega Balls is so damn tanky. Flash out from Paper Pirate, who takes a lot of damage, but has survived the back end. Lucas Bang also taken very low. But Autumn 24/7 on the rampage. Hook onto Vladimir. Hopping forwards is 24/7. It's a double. It's going to be a triple with that third shut down onto the Trundle. And that actually means that it won't be the triple because Vladimir steals it away.
Goomba Stomps coming out of the Tristana. Now 9-1-1 coming in really hot. but not before the Baron dies. You got 2 people alive with it now. This does mean that, importantly, the Baron is not alive to be taken or traded for this next dragon, and it does mean that with the resets 30 seconds before that dragon spawns, maybe Tempest can get themselves some wave control in mid or bot before this very pivotal dragon fight happens.
You can see it was the Phantom Dance that was picked up by Autumn 24/7, who's now very close to full build. 4 items in inventory alongside boots. It is 3.5 for Kai'Sa. She's pretty damn strong, but had to burn a lot in that last fight. Has got the Rage Blade, indeed, alongside that deck. Was like, there is a world where this Kai'Sa can carry, but it's going to be Infernal Soul. There is no jungler, or at least not as close. And that means that Mega Ball and Deja Vu Academy will secure an Infernal Soul, and that's backing up a Vladimir at 3 items. An Syndra, rather, at 2.5, and as we've mentioned, this ungodly fed Tristana.
And the Tristana with the Stormrazor alongside the Infinity Edge, so high AD build, having an extra 12% scaling stats onto AD and AP, will mean that this Trist is going to pop people like overripe fruit. However, in return, looks like Tempest looking for a fight.
Still a Malphite Orianna combo. The ball was out of range, though. He dived too far. Autumn gets out. Organized Crisis does get Jazz, though, and the death sentence means that Tristana does not go down because he's just out of range. Paper Pirate stepping forward, trying to get onto this turret and do as much work as he can, then ward over the wall to make sure there was nothing for Volibear to find. Now Van Awful and Mega Balls have got to keep this tower alive. Remember, there's still Baron buff on. We kind of forgot about it in the ensuing chaos, but they do still have it. Tristana is around. Oh, well, not quite yet. She's still on the fountain. So this is still a world where maybe Tempest can get a tower.
Okay, but there's no engagement. Okay, the Shockwave is back up. Watch for that.
All right, Mega going in.
Too.
Right, how much damage can this Tristana do? That's a massive stun onto Organized Crisis. Who's going low? The Shockwave is there, but it's only onto Mega Balls. And Lucas in the backside goes very low, but he's going to get some healing back out. And Grandmaster Zeno goes down to Mega Balls. Said it before, 1 ball, not as good as 2.
Apparently not. However, 2 kills is much more sweet than 1 for the side of Deja Vu. It's going to be a blue buff taken up by Lucas. Bang altar on to Vladimir. That was a huge team up. Like, that very much, that could have turned into a 5 reset Tristana jump. Actually, there was an assist coming through onto Tristana when Volibear killed off the Orianna. If Autumn had kept going, maybe would have been able to chase down the remaining people in mid lane and end up this game neatly for the side of Deja Vu. As it stands, though, relatively even in gold, even with that Infernal Soul backing up the blue team, and the game goes on.
Oh, this has been another one of those games where Orianna combos haven't been quite synced. There is a radius on how far away you can be.
It even shows it the person the ball is on nowadays.
Which is super convenient. And Flash, Unstoppable Onslaught at max range was way beyond where that Orianna had any reason to be. I mean, maybe she could flash forward to stay in range. I mean, that's the only option.
Alpha was looking for something here, and it's spotted by Volibear.
And Orianna's on the other side here. There's a teleport now coming through, so she will be around, but that's burned. Maybe not to be found at the end of it.
I'm going to say I am proud of Deja Vu for at least stocking up to buy some pink wards, whereas, you know, you've got some people on the other team still have Dorans in inventory. Pink wards are really important when you're trying to go for a flank or trying to prevent a fight. Flank, you do want this side flanking vision control, right? That's how you can teleport in. There are 4 teleports in this game alongside follow-ups like jumping over walls from the Triss and the Volibear, and of course the Killer Instinct 2 at max rank, level 16.
Okay, so I've also got to point out, this is, you know, Malphite here with the Doran's Ring in inventory. Look, you could just be called Organized. You could get rid of the Crisis part, only you have more pink. There would be no crisis. That's the kind of life we could lead. Sell your Doran's items at this point, guys. Buy yourself pink wards. Don't be that guy.
It's like, okay, so Doran's gives you 15 AP. Wow, okay. That's going to be very helpful onto 3,000 health Vladimirs.
Is it 3,000 health? Quite close, actually.
Vladimir, how much HP do you have? 3,042.
Good call, sir.
I mean, you can see.
I mean, I can see it. Yeah.
Like,
I just didn't see it.
No, but, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Malphite has decent AP ratios in his full burst combo, but 15 AP ain't going to be worth being able to deny an area of vision to force people off a wave, or have that ability to teleport somewhere knowing you're out of vision, and then just nuke the backline. Because that could very much end this game. It's late enough in the game, and enough structures have been destroyed, that yeah, we can see one team fight from either side ending it.
She's Veil now on for the Malphite, who just wants to
He's sold it! He's got a pink ward. Oh.
He
does.
understands.
Oh.
Well done, Organized Crisis. Strike
or-
off the Crisis part of that name.
Oriana, though. So,
Yes, this is you're not in challenge, you're only Grandmasters, Zeno. Alright, a bit of an engage going on. Grandmaster Zeno does take a bit of a chunk to the face. I believe that was off a team from Syndra. I don't think Ultim 24/7 was the one to put out that little bit of poke.
Yeah, it was the Stormrazor Theraphite.
Was it? Was it? That's what it was. Okay, just massive range at this point. Just draw a bead.
It's 100% crit on a Stormrazor Trist Auto.
Yeah, and remember, of course, that it does get massively extended range as the game goes on. That passive draw a bead just means increasingly ridiculous attack rate, especially when Rapid Fire Cannon adds on top of it. Baron is now live and can have to back away. Do some due diligence on their wave control. Lost control of their red side.
Have done, but they're not. What they're trying to do is not die with the minute left onto the Elder Dragon. That could very much turn the game back in the favor of Tempest. We saw that almost work for Deja Vu in the last game. We're back at that point again. All the regular dragons gone, only the big one left.
Pay attention. 30 seconds until Eldrick. If they can stall long enough, you can start thinking about going for trades. Remember, with a Kai'Sa at 4 items, you absolutely can shred these objectives. Like, there is a work
Yep,
you
absolutely.
you can definitely trade, especially if too many members go over to take an objective. You can look to punish that. That might be a win condition in of itself.
Might be. Unfortunately, at this point in the game, Ori still doesn't have Void Staff. It's going to have a hard time dealing with the volley and the brawn. You need to have a perfect shockwave onto the right targets, because if it's going to be front to back, I think that Deja Vu win that 9 times out of 10 right now.
She's going towards Banshee's Veil, and I
I
don't
think that's
know.
a mistake. I think you
need
should have
damage.
You need damage. It could have been a Leandri's, could have been a Void Staff. Either way, none of them have come in, and Ori is very much lacking in that department.
Frankly, so much of the damage is coming from Syndra. I mean, yeah, Vladimir's there. Let's not get that wrong. But your fear is this flipping Tristana at 10-1 and 2. Flash in for Mega Balls, though. And that's a bigger fear right now. May gonna get knocked away. Organized Crisis not finding all that much. The Shockwave is still available. It's not been popped again. Paper Pirate went for the engage, but that was a great use of the stopwatch. It will still end up with a kill for Kai'Sa, but it is right now a 2-for-1. Grandmaster Zeno and the Trundle running away as fast as they can, but that will mean that Mega Balls, Deja Vu can return to this Elder Drake and look to smite it down.
Well, you can't say it's not going the distance. Looks like they are returning to the scene of the crime, trying to stop this Elder.
Paper Pirate gets stunned, but that's a good Cathy range. Azza will not quite fall. That's enough. Now Mega Balls is so damn fast, stepping forwards. Paper Pirate has to flash away, but here comes 24/7. The shield is good, but it's not enough. And it will fall down.
It's a full ace. Maybe they can try and teleport into one of these lanes. Forget the Elder. Try and finish the game.
Still going for the Elder. And we've seen them lose with Elder Dragon before. Unlikely this time. That Tristana, that Vladimir, that Syndra will be enough damage, I feel, in any fight to come. They've not broken the base yet. The game's not over yet, but it's good as.
It's very much in their favor. Once again, Ori couldn't find a time to shockwave. Or didn't shockwave. One of the two. It was not used. Yeah, I'd say just didn't. Maybe there was a chance. I mean, they died, so obviously a range of someone doing damage. And in these kind of fights, any of those tools left unused end up becoming very, very painful after you finish that fight. We saw the Unstoppables once again not teamed up with that Ori. We saw it from Deja Vu last game. Well, for game 1 rather. But yeah, now we're left with the Baron.
Baron going down, damn fast. Bundle is coming, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. It's going to be too slow. See the death sentence, the kind of last hit down to steal. It's gone. Mega Ball secures it. There will be no steal this game. 21 kills to 12, a 7k advantage, a 3 Infernal Drake, Infernal Soul. A death cap on Vladimir, nearly a death cap on Syndra. Full build.
On Trist.
Indeed, on that Tristana. There is a Kai'Sa and a Dream right now for the side of Tempest. Banshee's Veil in for this Oriana, but where's the Void? Where's the death cap even? Where's the Leandri?
Something, anything. Like a whole lot of nothing right now for the Oriana in particular. Having to try and survive the back end of these team fights has been very difficult. Had to be dived by the Vladimir, by the Volibear. Not really found the Malphite combo either. And the rest of the team is struggling to make up for that lack of damage.
Base shoves comes in. This
could well be it. The Elder Dragon is still on for a
what's going?
small moment early, but there is the engage. There's still no shockwave. How can there still be no shockwave? You pulled the trigger, and it wasn't there. And now the Elder Dragon's wings stop flying up behind this Tristana. Small, but mighty is she at 13-1-6, and that will probably be game over. There is Grandmaster Zeno. There is Paper Pirate. But they've got to try and find something versus the 5 men. And the Nexus Towers are but paper. Took too much of a leaf from Paper Pirate's book. Now the Nexus exposed. It will fall down. Deja Vu Academy come out atop 2-1. But by the gods, was it going the distance?
Yeah, you can't say we don't leave things half done here. It is 2-1 for Deja Vu Academy. And while they may have dropped their perfect record, they still remain perfect in game score. Series score, that's the one. Oh, man. Okay, looks like we will have a interview with one of the winning players. It will be Autumn, the winning AD carry from Deja Vu.
Actually, we can talk about the Lucian.
Maybe we can do that. You don't have... Okay, right. So, we're going to... Sam doesn't actually quite have his headphones right now, because he comes through cast off of my Discord and my everything else. So he's going to be back in just the 1 second. That's lovely. Okay, so... Sam, welcome back. You might need to jump into Discord first. That'll be helpful.
That's fine. You guys go ahead and I'll join you in there.
So, hello and welcome. Congrats on the victory. How are you feeling after the 2-1?
Thank you. Shaking a bit. First streamed game, but it was really fun.
Well, it might have been your first stream game in that very first one, but the very last one ended out with some style. Did you feel particularly afraid at any point during that third game, knowing it was the decider and the last game was very difficult for you guys in the late game?
Well, we went into game 2 not that worried. The game 3, I mean. Game 2, we felt the Lucian pick from me. I tried to innovate a bit too hard, but we went into game 3, just reset. We know we can win. Pick a scaling comp, and then when we saw Kaiser, her build, we knew that as long as I don't int, we out DPS them.
Okay, and speaking about that Lucian in game 2, I know here on the cast we had a couple questions about the build that you went for. Can you talk us through it a little bit? Because we had a couple questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, so is this for Lucian?
Yeah.
So we know that a lot of Lucians do go for the Blade the Ruin King first. It helps you have quite a nice build path into your first item. And then you kind of didn't go towards an Infinity Edge until much later into the game. And we felt that kind of made your damage profile just a little bit janky throughout the game. It wasn't quite a smooth build path as maybe going Blade into Essence Reaver into something like the Infinity Edge. Do you think that build really helped you in that? Okay,
I mean, the build was very suboptimal. It was one of those builds that works in solo queue a few times, and then you think to yourself, okay, I can take this into a match. This will work.
Wow.
In reality, it should have been PTA. It should have been Blade of the Ruin King into Reaver, into Edge. Even a Cleaver would have been okay.
Maybe. Yeah, we were discussing that a little bit, but then we thought, okay, you've gone really high burst. If you manage to burst out the Aphelios, maybe you can finish off those team fights. Didn't really work out that way. Aphelios survived quite long into a lot of those team fights and did quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, exactly. And like, in fairness to you as well, what were your thoughts after you managed to cull away an Elder Dragon in that game as well? Kind of want to touch on that one a little bit as well.
The skin makes really nice sounds, and I heard it and I thought, well, I'm going to get it.
Psychological bonus.
And it was worth pointing out as well that the Naladar did have Smite up, just didn't manage to use it in that one, unfortunately.
I mean, my ultimate's very scary. That sound it makes.
It is a pretty terrifying sound, that's fair. Moving over onto game 3 as well, obviously you got hyper fed on that Tristana, and after you managed to get your way to 7-1 on the back of a pretty stellar team fight, what was kind of your thoughts at that point about how did you want to take that and run away with the game?
Well, I figured with the way we're playing, all I need to do is just stand as far back as possible, wait for 2 ultimates to get used, and just walk forward. My team was playing incredibly well. Honestly, I kind of got carried in those team fights by Tristana just being really good when it went far ahead, and also Volibear.
Yeah, and speaking of Mega Balls, we made so many jokes about that on Gas, by the way.
Too many.
So What's it been like playing with this group of players? It's something which I like to ask everyone that comes on the interview. Have you felt like the atmosphere has been good with your team? Have you learned anything from this group of players? Anyone you really want to shout out?
Well, in this series, I really want to shout out the MVP, Megaballs. He was
Worth
shot
shouting
at
about.
least. He basically backroad all of us perfectly. We didn't have to think, and he was pretty much winning all the fights for us, in my opinion.
There you go,
And then
Megaballs
Lucas
doing all the
secondary.
thinking.
Lucas was really good.
Think with your balls. Heard it
There
here
you go.
first.
That's it. Think with your Mega Balls. That's how they pull it off at Deja Vu Academy. Of course, with this win as well, you guys move, I believe, to second place. You won't quite get to match first place because you did drop the game. So it's going to be very frustrating for you guys, I'm sure. But looking ahead to Horizon, who are kind of just ahead of you, what are kind of your aims to be able to match these guys? Because they're kind of your nearest competitors.
I think on game day we're going to be really close. I feel like we need to work really hard to beat them, but I think we can beat them, just as they can beat us. It's going to be close, I think.
Well, I hope that match does get streamed and we get to see what it's like in front of all the cameras then. Got anything else to
Actually,
talk
just
about?
kidding. We're going to smash them.
All right. And enough of the humility. Smash him. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, Autumn.
Thanks for having me.
Enough from here on the main stream. It's been a long one, a bit of a messy one at points, but it is a victory for Deja Vu Academy. From myself, from Nightmare, wish you all a good night.